make it through. And let's see who it will be. Supremacy from France facing off against a Brazilian squad of Yeah Gaming. One of them will make it through yet again. And we start on map 1. It is Clubhouse. And what better map to start off playing Blitz. Here we go. Yuna's pulling out already.
We've seen it earlier from multiple teams. We saw it from Eclipse yesterday. We saw it from Young earlier today. So NA definitely wanting to do it. This is obviously we saw some Blitz play earlier in the previous matchup as well. Brazil favoring it. So it is slowly kind of rotating into this. The Pulse never seeming to rotate out of these games. It is his week to start. But nonetheless, the question is he going to be using it for Dirt Tunnel? That is pretty much the primary way you're going to be pushing in is with the Dirt Tunnel push. But we did see Eclipse do that weird hash drop. And I talked to him afterwards. Apparently that Blitz pick the second time was accidental. So the situation where he wasn't supposed to go with Blitz that second time. Nonetheless, entertaining variation on Blitz play here, but I do expect we will probably see him in the tunnel. Interesting setup here with the floors being open. That could actually work well against a Blitz, for example, but I don't think he's going to be walking by those holes.
One more spot that we haven't been seeing too much of nowadays is downstairs being, well, the church wall itself being completely reinforced instead of having, you know, one side open down the middle. You see where Spark is sitting down here. Now, Rafael on his Mira, just taking his time before he sets in. Of course, Mira won't really enter play until later on in the match, so that's definitely a thing. But yeah, taking their sweet time here. They're just moving around, spreading around the map before coming down. They are afraid of these roamers. Yeah, and they're definitely, yes, taking full control of the map, though, right away. It was interesting to see Blitz actually droning with his teammate upstairs. First, not sure if he's going to actually try and enter from that way and act as an extra moving roam clear, or if he's just doing that to help from a secure position. But he's still up there right now. The rest of the time, the other attackers are taking full control of the rest of the top floor. There's some shots coming down trying to do what they can through the hatch. And there's what would look like a C4 potentially coming out. Try and catch the one. Did not, unfortunately. And that is one C off the board. That might be Brids on the Pulse, but hard to be sure. Bandit is running C4 more often now as well, so that could have been Sparks as well. Looks like Spawn's trying to see if he can get any cheeky peeks through that crack. They aren't necessarily running a buck or anything. Or no, sorry, they're running a buck, but not a sledge or anything to open up the floor manually. So they're just going to do it from a distance, giving themselves a nice safe range. But Brit is finally going to fall, Pulse off the board. That is always the first man you want to pick on this attack because you need them to have the element of surprise. And without that Pulse, they are going to have that much more. And they tunnel vision so much on the Pulse sometimes that it doesn't end up working well for them. Pulse players should always be playing a bit further back, even though you need to be relatively close up. But there's so many angles that you can get shot from Kitchen because of how modular Consulate, but you know, a Clubhouse is when you're just bucking the entire floorboard. Oh, thing that we noticed as well is that teams is getting very aggressive with specific openings that they have. And here we see Yuna coming down with the plant, and he has his teammates to support him from the top. FK1 will take one on Bibu. 1v1 fight here as Yuna goes in, gets the second kill. Rafael is down and only Spark remains. The Bandit gets one, gets two, headshot. Revolts will go down. But how do you deal with anybody watching the top side of Kitchen? Probably has to go all the way up and then come back in. Though from Bar, they wait for him and GCR picks him up. It is Yeah that will take the first round.
What a strong initial attack. I'm almost surprised GCR wasn't on the glass, but nonetheless, that Blitz play was fantastic. And getting in for the plant, I think a lot earlier than they were expecting it, trying to get that plant down.
It was very much a Blitz.
Yeah. Kind of lives up to the name. I wasn't even know what to say to that. Too obvious, right? Right on, slaps you on the face.
So, you know, we're gonna call this the Blitzrund. It's just, you know, the quick round.
The quick round.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what you have in store for defense, as attack is gonna bring out that Glaz from Supremacy, from Zephyr. Not a huge surprise. That is something that he will definitely play. Rafael gonna be bringing the Ying to probably work with him, I'd imagine, and a Glaz coming out from Brit as well. Or not Glaz, I'm sorry, Buck. We did see last round they bucked open a fair amount of the floor, and we were talking earlier about how that's starting to fall off a little bit just because of the inherent risk of it going the other way on you. But getting the Pulse pick early is really what makes it actually safer to do. So the situation where Buck opened the floor and gave himself an angle to get the Pulse. No Pulse being run on Yeah, though, so not necessarily needing to get that. However, Spawns is going to have some extra cameras around to get some intel. Could go for a C4 pick or something like that with that. But they're not running a Bandit as well for the extra C4. However, I imagine Revolts is going to be running a C4 as well. I mean, I don't know why you would run anything else on air, but it is now down to the actual attack phase here. They are still slowly rotating back to site, opening stuff up with the shotguns, getting those last-minute setups done, as well as those last-minute cameras. You want to see right there, because if they smoke, you might be able to see them planting, because the smoke's usually going to be more in the middle of the room, so that's a nice tactic there. Looks like they're just getting into those positions in those last-minute shotguns.
Remember the days when having this spot open to impact nade the Habana charge was an odd thing and nobody really understood what was going on?
Yeah, still useful. You just, I mean, I'm not sure exactly why teams don't still do it often. I know it's a tricky thing, but a lot of times those late round impact nades aren't that useful except for on roamers.
Yeah.
Unless you want to really try and hope you get a kill. I mean, I find them more useful on Legion than anyone else because you're kind of desperate, but nonetheless, I feel like it's worth a try if you feel like you can get away with it.
Zephyr is on his trademark glass.
Yep.
You've seen him during qualifiers and, of course, during Pro League season. Brid just opening up the sidewall here from the bar. And it's very standard because you just buck the floor and there are specific spots. Obviously, the beauty of it is the angle from the attackers is even more complicated.
Yeah, plus you're standing on concrete, right?
Exactly.
Protect your little toes. Wow, stuff starting to open up pretty fast, though, and there's that kitchen hatch to be opened, which I'm not sure if he did already or not. Did they impact nade it? Maybe they actually did go for the impact nade, as he had to use a second one there. So right as we talk about why aren't they doing it, they heard us, they showed us, and now it's been done through that little crack there. He did eventually get it open, but it cost him 2. That's one less hatch they can open. Buck's still going to try and open up some access for his team, though, and Bibu going to call out potentially someone here where he wants that bucked.
We've seen the Havana being so crucial for this because you want to have your, if you're going to push somewhere in the hallway or at least contest on church wall, you want to make sure that the Mira does not have full control. So needing at least one charge to open things up makes it very important for your attack. Now, Revolts here has not reinforced everything, which is a tactic that I do agree with. I'm not too sure about that angle. I very much do like the EG style of reinforcing left, right, and leaving center all open.
Yeah, it gives you a little more flexibility on which side you can stand as well, so you're not as pinched into a corner behind those. And the Candelas are going out. They're going for an Arsenal rush plant through the wall. So far successful in that. Smokes are coming out. Bibu just stalling out here, but plant is going to come down and successfully stuck. This delay working, Brit getting a kill, and then traded by a C4.
Rafael is still spraying in, taking down Yuna, but GC on Revolts will get one each. Spark is from top, and remember, this plant is completely open for the attackers to go through. Rafael just sprays in. This tactic we've seen from before. Spark gets one, spots the second as well. On the staircase, takes down Revolts. No more meter to play with, and it's GCR alone on the Ella. Both players low on in, takes one, and takes no damage in. The fight still one more in kitchen. Clutches a GCR! Are you kidding me? Takes him down and will have the time in here. Barely, just barely. Come on. Can you do it? Tap it down, GCR. One more to go. Here we go. Defenders will take it. Well done. So close from Yeah. And round number 2 will go their way. Fantastic clutch with the Ella.
Definitely well done. I mean, I think it was kind of a given that he was probably going to win that gunfight against the lower HP operator, but sticking in the kitchen in that moment when you knew that was coming, I mean, because there was two options.
Go in a fridge.
Yeah, he was either going to push you or he was going to push back down a diffuser. And considering you know it's an L3 speed running at you, probably going to keep going and try and get you with that gun. So you need to be in a much more advantageous position than standing up looking like, hello, as they enter the kitchen. I mean, you almost saw the look on their face like of surprise as the door opened, basically swung in with an L and just shot to the face. I feel like he probably should have seen that coming, but what he saw coming instead was bullets. And unfortunately, that is 2 rounds up now for Supremacy. Gonna have to fight a little bit harder if they want to take this. GCR bringing out that glass now that I was talking about. He didn't do first round. Second round, all right, I'm gonna bring out the glass now. Successful attack. So nicely done.
Rafael this time opting for the Echo. So this is going to be a bit more technical than the usual. Again, defense is on Church. And Supremacy,
10 seconds left.
we're not reinforcing the full Church wall yet. They might go for it again, and I'm still not sure about it. Now, all of the pushes that we've been seeing so far from anywhere other than Kitchen Hatch have been unsuccessful.
Yeah, no one's really been focusing much on Blue or Dirt, which I feel like Blue is really falling
Except
off
for,
fashion.
you know, we've seen Dirt once or twice, and we've seen a one-off drop from tunnel and from blue working together.
And I kind of miss the days of the old tunnel and blue pinch. So you just don't see anymore. I feel like no one wants to run dirt tunnel without a shield in their face. But nonetheless, I mean, it's still an option. You have a thermite on here with Yuna, so plenty of opportunity to do so. Almost surprised Yuna's not back on the blitz again. But nonetheless, he's still going to be effective if they want to open up that tunnel, because GCR then can just crawl right in there and get some angles from there. Or he has the option, of course, of pushing down the main stairs where Spawns is droning right now to make sure he knows what's going to be waiting for him downstairs. Now they are getting the usual. You always have the Habana doing the Claymore in the garage. I think it's pretty much a mainstay of making sure you don't get rotated on. Not that there aren't good ways to get around it with impact nades or C4s these days, but now he's going to do his job on the hatch. I don't know if we're going to see that impact nade trick again here, but not as likely. Looks like they use the corner to try to get around that.
Yes.
That is kind of the way
That's
to kind of
pretty
avoid
smart.
is get further from the shells right there.
Will this be enough?
They tried.
All right, well, it does work. All right, so even on the side, it's enough for it to work. All right, you learn something new every day, Devin.
Yeah, it only takes one pellet to actually do it, which is the nice part about doing corners like that, is as long as you got one on there, you're good.
All right, GCR is going to reload in. Now they do open the hatch leading down into blue. They don't have a buck to open up the wall downstairs.
They could do it with glass, though, at the rate of caliber destruction his gun does, which is always a nice alternative. Now this Pulse is living a bit longer this time. We'll see if he's able to get any good intel.
Bibu still scanning outside on dirt tunnel, expecting maybe a thermite to go through there, and it's very possible because Yuna is still there. Ella always sitting on the side is a perfect spot for her, if you will, in the tunnel, because if there is a Ying, which is really most of the time not here, the Candela's they have a hard time hitting you all the way in the back. So GCR still in a very tight angle, trying to find a pick on the. At this point, the band hitting the back.
Just trying really hard. But there's the echo of Rafael. That actually could be a key player here, and if they try and go for that push, because it could try to deny the diffuser without exposing itself to GCR on that hatch. And that's an important thing, because there's
Here we go.
Tunnel fight.
Only one. They will trade 1-to-1. GCR getting one for his own from the hatch. Perfect spot here. They use FK1 to bait people out of this position. Zephyr, though, will go out. Get down here by Revolts as Spawns. Now runs right into the hallway. Checking into church, but can't find anybody inside. Barely any time here. They will get the bomb plant down. But no, the Echo last second did not check for him. And oh, wow. Okay.
And that's what I was saying, because you didn't have to worry about getting shot when you're trying to
The
go for that.
patience. When do you ever see an Echo even being picked up?
Well, that's what it was, right? That was a nice
thing.
surprise. I got to imagine they picked up that there was an Echo on drone at some point, like that there was someone playing Echo. They probably just didn't know where the yokai drone is. And we've seen a lot of, for example, from Para, IQ being used on here, and would have found that potentially, but they didn't have any way of knowing where that yokai drone was unless they caught it off guard. And him just having it positioned early in the game made it so he was able to actually just not even have to fight that. You could have the guy playing back in dirt tunnel and stay safe until that deny happens, even if diffuser could potentially have gotten planted, which it did not. So, well done by Rafael stopping that. That was a very important play, because that is his first point on the board for his team, making it 2-1 now. So that's exactly where it'll be. We're going to see our first Capitao of the match, along with Blackbeard as well. Interesting lineup for this attack. Not something you see terribly often on this particular bomb spot.
With this sort of setup, you might see Spark going through dirt tunnel with Rafael behind him, but also not pushing until they have full control of kitchen and bar, which means that they can have the Capitao in the back to force their opponents that are sitting in the back of Armory away from contesting the Blackbeard and the Thermite moving in from dirt.
We'll see what they do here, but Thermite looking around, trying to figure out which angle he wants to actually approach from. And there's the run out actually getting the knockdown. Brid does take down Spawns, but unfortunately for Spawns, he didn't finish the kill, making it totally not worth it in terms of utility, especially if he had a C4 left. That is, C4s are very valuable in this game. Like little diamonds you throw at people to kill them.
So now the setup is even more viable, and there's still an Ella below. That's GCR. I'm trying to nail a frag off of this setup here for our attackers. Zephyr just droning in on the Capitao. All right, hey, we see the bomb. That's it. We need to try to push through. They don't have a glass, which is not usually something that you would see when you're attacking on.
Yeah, I would think they would have brought it. They would have brought Zephyr on Glaz for a stock take instead of the Capitao, but Capitao still has usefulness, and Bibu, of course, usefulness as well, taking down FK1. That's the Jaeger off the board, so no last-minute ADS is going to get put up. But they have enough manpower to make this work. Now that Buck's taking control of Cash Room upstairs, they can completely guard the diffuser once they get it planted, if they can get it planted. But Eunice still has the opportunity to fire back up, could counter this Glaz, but I bet he wish he has C4 at this point. Oh, I don't know, maybe Spawns should have stayed alive? Yeah.
Yes, who would have thought?
Oh, the nice attempted peek there. Doesn't work. Yuna left in a tight spot as they're going to continue to pressure him out, hoping to channel his inner Necrox there to try and get a peek, but not quite finding it.
It's a good thing here for Supremacy, learning from the mistakes of others to not over-peek. They can get Spark here, but from top, they just left a cash room. It is all up to Brid here as 1 and 2 fall. GCR left alive on the Ella, spots one, but Spark is ready for him. Tasked with the SR-25, has the rifle shield to protect him if needed. And that is Supremacy to tie things up.
See them getting a little warmed up now, taking some extra sips of the Red Bull, and seeing if they can get really into this game now that they're actually starting to make a comeback here. They were down 2, now they're up 2. It's a nice 2-2 tie, but both teams having to play the bar means there's a good chance for comebacks. This is their first time playing the bar, but this actually puts them at a disadvantage to maybe go down a point again if they also lose this defense. Interestingly enough, we're going to have the Dokkaebi pulled out from Yuna, but Yuna, again, much like Sexy Cake, the one kind of play some flex operators, some different things, as opposed to kind of the standard operators. So that is going to be an interesting choice on a bar attack here. I'm not sure that that's necessarily the best pick, is that there's a lot of utility. But
though, if you think of it, it really does make sense in the context that you'd be playing against an Echo.
And there's also a lot more roamers here as well. So there's that.
It's definitely
I mean, I can see some logic.
Because you want to come in, you want to make sure that the roamers do not pose a serious threat, but because most of your fights will be close quarters, unless you're facing from, well, entrance into bar, then you might as well just have a Dokkaebi, because if you time your pushes correctly with utility, then it's fairly simple to eliminate your opponents, and maybe you can have a final logic bomb to utilize when there's a push and you know that there's an Echo.
Yeah, that's an interesting point about that, because the Echo can't sit there and turn his phone off while being on the drone.
Exactly.
So if you can get him to go on his phone for just a second, that might be just enough for that yokai to be denied. So yeah, we'll see if that comes out. That might be an unlikely scenario, as it requires kind of an alignment of a few things, but I do like the thinking there on that. Definitely a possibility. But we'll see if and when they get inside the building, if that could actually happen. But GCR back on that Glaz again. He could be going for that stock take that we were just talking about with the Glaz, and that is a very powerful attack. But FK1 already taking some damage.
Yep, that first logic bomb was deployed. Unfortunately, FK1 was not able to use it to the max here. They do have, of course, FK1 on the sledge, which means he can open things up from cash room. Trying to find a pick here with the SMG-11.
Trying to be a buck, but it's not quite working the same.
Unfortunately for him, GCR is pushing in as well with the OTS. Now, an important part of playing against the Glaz is that unless you can counter him by running out, then you have to deny a plant from your opponents, because otherwise you're relying on too much randomness to be able to go for a retake.
Yeah, it's definitely a situation now where they've gotten a lot of map control as well, and that is going to be not great for trying to make this work. Raphael having trouble with that drone as well. He can't quite climb it up that stage, so he's going to have to find another way to get it over to where he wants to without exposing its position, and he probably should have had it pre-placed, but he might not have known which take they were going for. Might have been thinking they might be go for the club side, but you got to know GCR or Glazbane probably going to want to play over on this side.
Well, he is indeed trying to find a pick off of this here. At least the smoke's going to get thrown in here as he gets one of his down. Relocating the yokai. He wants to keep that alive. It's a big part of stopping this push. He relocates, but it takes a while to get set up. This might be time for a plant. He fires all the way around, but they're all missing, and Diffuser is going to get planted. As they run out, they will get they will get yokai here, and Zephyr has a lot of work to do here with the smoke and the Glaz just looking down. This is not a spot to be in for Supremacy.
A 5v5 after plant is not great, but the trade back for makes it, well, much less than a 4v4 now.
Spark with a headshot, double kill for him, and leaves GCR on the outside here. Still need to deal with a sledge up in cash room. They spot Spot 1, Zephyr will take out the glass, but there's still FK1 and Yuna alive. Yuna will be able to get one on Spark, and the third one as well. Yuna, insane play with the SMG-12 to clean up the rest of Supremacy.
It's pretty funny to see.
They line up perfectly.
So unfortunate for that. I mean, I still feel like he could have won that without them being lined up, but nonetheless, well played. Getting the plant down like that with a 5v5 still and having all your people left alive to just be able to defend it. I mean, it turned into a scrap fest at the end.
Yes.
Even GCR couldn't defend it just because of the sheer amount of force being thrown at him. But that is a ballsy move here. So it's definitely a nice thing. But you know what? Actually, I forgot. Echo's actually immune to the Dokkaebi, so I don't think that actually factored into it. That was one of those weird counters that they threw in that they didn't. They explained with some backstory, but I imagine it was in design before the backstory. But nonetheless, yeah, I guess that wouldn't have been a factor in this. Nonetheless, the factor was them getting the plant down and the smokes being missed is really what killed it. Because had he hit those smokes,
and the rotation from the Yokai just took too long to
miss the shots.
Unfortunately, he sprayed everywhere around the one position. The sonic boom could have gone. Now, Zephyr is on the glass again, and this is what I like to see. It is Vigil, and I always like seeing revolutionary plays on Vigil here. Revolts from Team on the defense is going to be picking it up, and I want to see how he plays it. He can still play on site disrupting the drones because you can disrupt anything vertically as well by sitting in the back of Armory. Even people that are coming in.
We saw that earlier today as well. They're trying to play that trying to play that back in the back of Armory for exactly that reason, I imagine. It didn't seem to be very effective, but then again, they were bringing a blitz, so that didn't help either.
Yes, and it was a pick for the Legion to try and deal with him. Unfortunately, the angles from that kitchen hatch are just so strong, and that's very much why a lot of teams now stop pushing anywhere. And like a bar hatch push, that's so 2016. So it doesn't work anymore.
Nice try. Here we are, though, with the typical thing of the Claymore setup I was talking about earlier. Always people trying to find better and better positions to make it harder to be C4 or impact needed. Also harder to be spotted. The idea is you want to catch someone right as they finish the animation coming up the ladder, so there's less and less chance to try and kind of see it and know it's there ahead of time. Catch them off guard when they're in a desperate clutch situation. They are going to start to open the floor. Is it going to be... I thought it was for a second there, Bibu was going to have to open the floor himself and not even wait for Brid to get over there with the buck shotgun. But now floor is going to start getting opened up here, and that's going to start to force rotations from some of the defenders.
Looking down at the defense, FK1 is set all the way back in blue. Bibu has used up at least one of his Ash charges to open down the kitchen, not really waiting for Brid to do the work. And now just burning these ADSs from the Jaeger downstairs. Trying to find better angles here. Now, Brid has been opening a lot more of the floor that we've seen today, and you see the lineup here with the grenade. Unfortunately, I don't think the bounce will work. Or
he hit his feet, I think.
Or is this maybe part of the plan?
I don't think that's the plan. But Brid is dead, so that's definitely not part of the plan.
And Yuna getting very aggressive on the mirror, not usually something that you see. And he's going to get at least one frag for his efforts. That's Brid, of course.
I like the rotation back through that church wall there. It's funny.
Bibu up top trying to find an angle on a frag below. There we go. Spots him, but it's very difficult to hit through all of the metal beams.
Don't peek that. Well, definitely decided to back off, but Zephyr falls in the meantime.
Yuna, what a play. He's getting even aggressive on a one-speed. Mira goes in for another 1v1, but Spark left with little HP will be able to take him down. 4 players left alive here from Gaming as Rafal moves on in, but GCR frags him all the way in the back of the Arsenal room. Still waiting for more. Bibu pushing in, takes down the Valk that spawns out of play. Can he spot one in blue? Yes, he can. Vigor not enough, and FK1 and GCR get a kill each and clean up Supremacy. A fantastic defense. Very turtle style from but knowing exactly when to rotate around. Unfortunately, the Ash push into Church, running into blue, was not enough to clean up the last 3.
Supremacy just didn't feel like the well-organized team I would have expected there. You saw a lot of franticness hitting each other with the grenades on the throw, just getting picked by Yuna early by those 2 picks that he got. That would really nerf Supremacy's attack at that point and losing the Glaz. That just is a lot of important play, and then not even making the Ying drop work properly, dropping down and just getting picked off by Rafael. It just seemed like everything they were doing was just falling apart before they could even properly execute it. And the scrappy gunfights at the end weren't going to be enough to save the day in any kind of clutch situation. So I feel like that round went pretty definitively over to yeah. It was not a close call for Supremacy at all. But nonetheless, it is Supremacy's chance to try and defend down here again, to try and bring it back to potential overtime, because it is 1 point away from ending this map and moving on to Bank.
Yeah.
So far, Yuna doing a lot of work. 2 of those kills just from last round right at the beginning. GCR also doing a great job playing that Glaz, as well as other operators. In this case, he's going to be on Buck again, like he did, I believe, first round. We'll see if that works this time as well. So far, they are on a good position to take this into Bank and maybe even make it all the way.
And then again, Rafael going for the Echo, it is not something you ever see on a church.
Well, they've seen it once now, so the question is, will that trick work a second time?
Yeah. They definitely need to figure out where his position is, because remember before, they were able to shut down the push even though they made it all the way inside of the armory. It was just not enough.
I like Bibu setting up some little traps here just to get an idea when people push. He's got one behind him in the dirt tunnel. In case they blow that open, he doesn't have to pay as much attention behind him, because he'll hear that early warning of someone walking close to that corner, be able to turn and spray if he needs to. They are taking control of the map fast. This is what we've seen them do before. Nice, quick control of the top floor. As rather than having to just spend forever droning every corner, they're going to drone enough of it from the entry, get in and clear the room. And then you're going to have Revolts over, getting garage secure as they take over the bar and get ready for the Buck action here on the floor. Start opening things up.
That is a great hole down into B. Wanna maybe get a pick off of hole inside into armory, but Grid is ready for him, at least in the Pulse. We've seen Pulse play to a great effect so far in the Invitational. You see the Thermite on the outside, aka Yuna, now opens up the outside. And Bibu realizing what's going on in dirt, just gonna fall back. We might see a full rotation here from yeah. There's still 1:37 on the clock. That's a lot of time to work with for this push, because Ranger was oh my god, here we go. Nicely done from Brid. C4 will land on GCR and take down the Buck. That is a huge frag for the
punishing that Buck.
I know your point of view on this, because yesterday Ranger was explaining to me about the possibilities of pushing down, and it's not always clear how you would like to approach it.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Yuna nicely done, taking down Brid. So
that is a good pick off the board, but situation now where he can't even enter that dirt tunnel thanks to Bibu knowing he's there.
Revolt's still upstairs in the lounge.
Yeah, pushing down any of the sites or any of the angles here is not always easy. You've got the issue with a lot of people being able to use a linear push on blue. For example, usually there's rotate holes from church where they can come out and peek you when you don't expect someone to be there. Trying to drop the hatch is also risky. Pushing down this dirt tunnel leaves you very little room to back off in situations where they start pushing back against you. And I mean, while he's still Fragmite, Yuna's not in the greatest position to fight against Bibu. Bibu's actually moved away from it. Still might be looking at it though, it looks like. Hard to tell if he's able to actually see him. But there's the stun that he set up earlier in the round that I was talking about. Was kind of a nice little booby trap. And Bibu was definitely watching a nice, tight little pixel angle.
Oh, here we go. Yuna taking down Bibu. Zephyr with spawns and a quick spray from Yuna into dirt. Zephyr will take down one. FK1's on the site now. He's going to try to go in for the plant.
Oh, no.
Cheesy play. Can they shut this down? All they need is one bullet, and
there
you know
it
what?
is again.
They don't even need it. Nobody's checking for the Echo.
Twice
Total surprise here from Supremacy, and that's why they're not even peeking. And like, you know what? If you want to take the plant, that's fine, because we can deny it.
The second time that's happened, and if don't learn from it, they're going to keep dropping round set. However, nonetheless, I mean, there's small chance of seeing another round unless they make it to overtime, but that's still unfortunate for them. Just being so focused on their gunfights and getting to the right position that they just could not deny that. And we'll see if they're able to adapt, though. We're going to see Supremacy back on attack here, trying to attack the bar yet again, and bringing the same lineup as last time. Be interesting to see if it works. Last time they did get pretty good control of Cash and be able to fight it from above down into the stock room. But Yuna is going to be such a persistent smoke that he's hard to get out of there. And Spawn's now switching to Doc, an interesting choice. I mean, those long angles always support the ACOG play of a Doc or a Rook on this, but it's interesting that he picks Doc instead of Rook.
Or Echo?
Or Echo,
Yes.
another 3 armor. That's another good one as well. That would probably have been a better choice, but at the same time, hey, you know, I mean, you had to have reasons for picking that. We just don't know what those are, and we'll see if those work is really the important thing, right? Will that pay off?
We'll see, because then again, the MP5 SD with the ACOG is still as effective as Doc's MP5. Maybe there is something else that is in mind.
Slightly weaker just because of the silencer, but it's so small.
It's all about the headshot still.
Right? The silencer doesn't matter if you're silently tapping someone's face off.
Exactly.
FK1 actually going to be playing aggressively in the club here. That is a risky move, but why he's doing it, I don't know. When he's got to kind of anticipate they're going to go for the same take as last time. But he is a 3-speed. He can rotate out if he needs to, get right back to supporting it. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't have the ACOG to go all the way across the bar to shoot into the stage area. But he is going to still be able to do that if he needs to. But Brid hoping to find someone being sloppy upstairs. Not going to at the moment. There we go.
Great
now
timing here. Oh,
so close.
A
lot of help. Oh, smoke off the board, though.
Nicely done. That's the smoke out of play, and that'll be Brit out. Oh, can he spot the Ella as well? Yes, he's just tapping down into the feet. GCR is forced away, and now he has to fight this one.
Oh, wow.
Very difficult to fight against Spark here, who's playing on the Blackbeard. What a fantastic pinch and bait.
Those roamers just destroyed with still a minute 45 left in the round. That is a great place for Supremacy to be to take this to overtime. And this is looking very likely now at the moment, unless we could see some great comeback from This door play here is a great counterplay to the stock push. That's why you see 2 of them there. But things are starting to get open from the garage. That Thermite of Rafael doing his job, but Revolt's getting that pick on Bibu.
Nicely done. That's something that they need to work with, but Habana is not, you know, the most important of
not
operators.
At this point.
All right. Raid's got to get locked in. It's Eddie S is set again. Spark holding off top angle. Brid moving in here with the drone. They're just going to drone it in through the main door. They're going to spot out the Jaeger. All right. Spark still from garage, holding a wide angle into bar to try and get a quick shot. And Brit will get the kill on FK1. 4v2 as Spawns will finally make the ACOG work. Brit will get taken down. 2v3. Quick peek from Revolts. Almost getting the shot there. Rafal will get one on Spawns. Revolts is still last man alive. Rafal so low on HP. Still Zephyr and Spark alive. Diffuser is on the floor here at the entrance of B in Stockroom. And Zephyr just wants to hold off any rotation. Basically the last man alive on the team here on the Bandit. Revolts hiding up in kitchen. Goes in for a quick peek. Can't win this one. And Zephyr will tie it up 4-4. Supremacy taking it to overtime.
Wow. I feel like they probably didn't need to lose as many people as they did, but Supremacy definitely dominated that round with the first 2 kills. I loved the forcing of the rotate, getting that nice little pick through the drone hole, hitting those feet, actually forced him out, and a great catch on getting Yuna down the smoke, who probably shouldn't have been up there, but I think he was trying to protect himself. He's like, you know what, if Buck's just going to be above me, trying to get shots down from below, why don't I try and surprise him? But that nade did a little bit of damage, weakened him, softened him up, and a great finish by Brid there, taking him down. And that was how you open things up and start things out. Because once you've taken out that smoke from stock, the other people are easy. And then poor GCR just rotating down right into the gunfire of Spark on that Blackbeard. An unfortunate place to be for him. And that is where things just completely fell apart.
Well, Yuna yet again is going to pick up the Thermite here on the defense. Finally, it's Legion himself. Zephyr here will pick him up. That's a counter to a potential blitz. Won't be the case this time around, though. And with EMPs on FK1, Legion starts getting a bit less important. 3 EMPs that you can chuck them down. Of course, as a Legion, you're setting up with your goo mines down and drop from each one of the hatches, if you will, having one possibly set in dirt tunnel just to protect your back, especially with the way Yuna's been playing.
Yeah,
EMPs got a lot of range.
Will the EMP be used in the dirt tunnel? Because in the dirt tunnel, you've got both the Legion mines as well as the other mines in the dirt tunnel, potentially, and that's going to give a lot of intel on people pushing as well as weaken them, slow them down. So we'll see if FK1 is smart and actually EMPs the tunnel like we saw, being done early on those blitz pushes. depends on what else he needs those EMPs for. We see FK1 right now just trying to decide how he wants to approach. I always like this push, because you could use that crack between the crates to fire in if he sees someone on that drone.
Yeah, just straight through the crack, of course. FK1 outside on the Thatcher, droning on in. Just checking out Kitchen. It's completely clear. They can move in. That's would be interesting to see is where Zephyr has set himself up, because we've seen KS before with the way that he was sitting all the way in the back, just getting pushed and taken down because of those nasty angles that we see from Kitchen Hatch. It's such a strong position yet again, but for him, he's going to sit down in the utility room. Definitely a spot in blue here, not a spot that you usually see much action in.
No, not unless they're really wanting to push that stock hatch, which isn't even reinforced at the moment, as you can see in the stock room. Deciding that's not important. Ooh, almost catching someone. FK1's very concerned about this hallway, spending already a minute 15 just trying to get into there. Still hasn't secured it yet. Gonna drone yet again, try and find someone. He's hoping he can catch someone off guard, but they're just not falling for it.
Yep, GCR continuing the drone. Remember, the castle has reinforced a couple spots here in the bar just to expend more utility from the attackers. Now, they don't have a sledge, and with the Hibana here, not too sure if Revolts has a lot of Kairos left in charge.
Yeah, I imagine they definitely want to get that open, though. But you know what? Hey, Buck says, I got another way around. We'll just open this hole in this wall, and that is a nice adaptation to that. And there's, of course, clearing out some ADSs or other things down in that dirt, or the Blue Tunnel, which is potentially where they might want to push from. But if not, you know, gives them some access as well. See the Ash down at the bottom of the stairs. Typical play here from Ash rushing down there, getting in a position to start fighting things. Although I'm sure they wish they had a glass, as FK1 does finally win a fight, catches someone off guard. They're trying to push him, but takes about 50% damage in the process.
Brid is on Church here, just set up very closely. Drone's gonna get taken down by the Legion. Zephyr and Spark in a wonderful spot in the back of Arsenal. It's much more difficult to take a pot shot at him, but still maybe you can find those feet if he moves around just a bit. 1v1 fight, Yuna wins this out against Spark and now takes down the castle. That is the biggest downside of this sort of elevated spot. GCR with one more on Zephyr, leaving only Brid and Rafal alive. Rafal with a 1v1 fight takes finally down the Ash. Rafal and Brid with a kill each. Diffuser has to get set, but it's down to a 1 versus 3. And it's Rafal on his own. This is round number 1 of overtime. Every second counts, and Revolts is ready to shut down the French team. Round 1 is now up for Yeah Gaming. One more separates them from a map victory.
Love seeing still all the lesion binds taking effect. The one in the tunnel, the one pulling out there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for them, that didn't lead to a win, but it was a nice try. A well-executed attack overall. The patience of FK1 eventually paying off in that attack, trying to make that approach work. And then once Bibu fell, it seems like the rest of the defense fell pretty quickly afterwards, as they were able to get the map control that they finally wanted. So that is a nice starting round for Yeah. Supremacy definitely needing to bring it back if they want to go to a potential 6-5 situation. But it's looking a little dicey. They struggled just to get to overtime earlier, so I feel like there's a good chance we could see the end of this map in Ya's favor here soon, depending on how well they can defend this. Revolts this time, interestingly, on Pulse, something I don't believe we've seen yet, so they are changing up a little bit, little adaptation on how they want to defend this. But it is, of course, the better bomb site to be defending. 11 kills from Yuna. He's doing a little bit of work, doing a little bit of work for his team.
Just a tiny bit of work, even though he's been playing Thermite.
Yeah, and he's making successful pushes down that dirt tunnel. I like the last one. He gets the kill, and he's like, oh, no, by the way, I should pull this thing out of my feet here. It's hurting a little bit.
And yeah, you do have a second or so to until the next tick comes in and you take more, like 5 more damage.
I feel like it's a little Princess in the Pea situation there.
Oh, Princess Yuna is definitely a thing. I don't know if many people watch the Brazilian broadcast or even Yuna's streams,
Here we go.
especially with Goddess. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Princess Yuna is definitely a thing. Let's say that.
We'll see if he can become a king here. If they can win this, take it to the next map, which will be Bank, which I think is one they're probably pretty comfortable on one. But both these teams are, so that should be a little bit of a good back and forth as well. I mean, already we're getting the back and forth we talked about, right? We're at a potential 6-5 situation, just like we were hoping for, just like we were predicting. But this is only map number 1 of potential 3. Oh, that pulse.
It just Revolts, just getting a ton of information from downstairs. Spawn's with them as well, so they definitely can chuck both C4s, so 3 C4s on the side of, yeah, they just want to dismantle their opponents before they even come down on the site by using them to their advantage. Now, Revolts has not really found anybody. There we go. That's the 2 that they need, and that is the Buck C4 from Yuna right on the Brid. Goodbye, my friend. And that's kill number 1, going the way of Supremacy.
Poor Brid. We've seen him just not be super successful on the Buck play a lot of the time. I feel like we're seeing a little bit better Buck play from GCR. But nonetheless, getting killed that early, again, makes me see why we're going sort of towards that other meta we were talking about, where you're just opening less holes, maybe not even bringing the Buck anymore. Maybe we're talking too much about having that Buck that just might not be as relevant anymore as it used to be, depending on what you bring for attackers. Like we saw Canadian earlier, even using his shotgun to open it up on Jackal. So there's definitely a lot of ways to play it that don't involve a Buck getting C4'd in the foot. Although it looks like he got C4'd from the hatch in bar, oddly enough, judging by where his corpse remains. But he actually he might have flown back. Nope, it looks like the blast mark is around the hatch. Poor little Buck. This little mask
boy.
rolls little eyes. So Spark, though, trying to use that same hatch to get some angles. And Zephyr a little cautious about this approach, wondering if Moto has got more in store for them, as the angles won't necessarily cover everything for that. But his teammates being above here should make it more secure for him to do this, so he probably should be progressing a little bit more, as they only have 48 seconds left.
As you say, 48 seconds. They still have 2 C4 charges to play around with. They're waiting on for info. Zephyr moves right in, trying to contest anybody sitting on a site. There's going to spot 1, spots the second as well, tags everybody in the back. Zephyr takes down only 1. But Spark and Yuna are low on HP. I'm going to throw in a Candela here as Ying moves on in. Spawns gets 1 and spraying. Spawns gets 2. And they're all falling down. Yuna with 1 more, leaving 1 alive. Bibu fighting for his life on the Ash here. Pulls out the 5-7, takes it. Bibu, are you kidding me? 4 kills in a row. And yeah, completely falling down. Supremacy are still alive.
Wow, that was a heck of a fight. That jump into and just ADSing unnecessarily. Could have killed with the hip fire at that point, and the glass play just not on point, but they still win the round.
He downed 2.
Yeah.
And then killed 2. Sitting inside of Churches around in as the Ash.
Yep.
And just played off of the mirror window.
I got this, guys. Don't worry.
What a god! What is this? This is the play. This is the kind of play that the Invitational deserves.
And we got Raphael back on. We do finally get another chance for that Echo play. I was kind of joking earlier that we probably wouldn't see it again, but here it is. They made it all the way to the final round of this map, guaranteed. So it is a situation where Yuna...
It's only getting started, Devin. It's only getting started, and it's already heating up. 5-5, yeah. Gaming versus Supremacy. They're on overtime match point, and this is still map number 1, ladies and gentlemen.
My goodness. And there's still even a match after this one for today. This is just...
We ain't done just yet, and it's Supremacy
Neither
now.
Supremacy, yeah.
They're on the defense, and they're going to be playing yet again with similar styles we saw before. As
Come
you
on
said,
in, guys. We'll just echo drone the diffuser.
Honestly, that would be so heartbreaking for not learning from that mistake and losing to the Echo again. That would be a huge.
If they fall for it one more time, someone on the internet, please make a montage of that, because I just want to see. So you can share it with and be like, come on, guys, come on.
Alrighty then. Now, on the attack, of course, moving into bar, taking control of tops. Brid does have the pulse and a nitro cell in hand if needed. You see a quick rundown from Spawns and just trying to take control of the middle hallway. Now, a lot of teams have gone for the fuse, for example, to clean up the barbed wire. A lot of teams on the defense don't even put that much barbed wire.
No, it's so nerfed now. It's like why getting taken away from Band. It wasn't even that.
Might as well get a C4 at that point.
And I mean, I almost wish they would have got something in exchange, but nonetheless, his C4 going to be a little bit more effective, and Spark may even be running that right now. Just the sheer lack of barbed wire. But Brid being a little bit better on the pulse than he was on the Buck, playing against the pulse, could be the one to try and counter GCR yet again. He did have a nice C4 kill before as that pulse, but he's waiting patiently for the right opportunity. Still C4 in hand with a special delivery for whoever wants to stand still. There's that Echo drone getting placed. C4 unfortunately not landing its mark, not even doing damage from what I can tell, and that is unfortunate for Brid, but he's still alive, still potential with that
GCR is still up top here in Kitchen. Is going to fall back to the entrance here in Fridge. He's going to go for a quick reload. Now, Rafal has been going for the Echo with a Supernova shotgun. It allows them to add more destructibility, especially with this time having no Mira and having no smoke. Something that you do not usually see on any team. They go for 2 technical operators. Brid and Rafal rely on Bibu after his 4K in the previous round. We'll see how this setup from plays out. There's no Legion really to do much with this EMP here from FK1 and the Thatcher. So just sets up, maybe being able to disable the pulse for just a bit gives them a bit of time to survive.
I feel like they're getting a little fumbled in here, bumping into each other in the kitchen. That's how we saw them hit each other with a nade before. That doesn't bode well for them to actually make this work. It just seems flustered. They don't seem to know how to actually finish this attack off. And 38 seconds to do it is not a lot. All 5 alive. As I say that, of course, Brid goes down. Finally, the pulse picked off. It's a good start.
Yeah,
but 30 seconds left.
C4 is already expended, and as you say, less than 30 seconds on the clock. Yuna will go down. Bibu will get shot. Spark and Zephyr going down as well. Bibu with one more. There's one more alive, and that is Rafal going down. Yeah, just running up, demolishing Supremacy on the site. Nobody expects the Spawn's Inquisition on the Ash. Runs right into Church, cleans up everybody on the site. What a fantastic first map. 6-5, and it goes the way of Gaming, our regional Brazilian team, one of the best teams in the region, honestly one of the best teams in the world to make it here to the Invitational.
Absolutely.
Especially to day number 3, they still have one more map to go to potentially make it to the quarterfinals starting tomorrow in our fantastic venue, being finished up. Final touches. Can't wait for you guys to see it tomorrow because it is absolutely exciting, Devin.
I'm super pumped for it. This match is just, it's going exactly the way I hoped, which is the 6-5 all the way to the end. Both teams super desperate. I like their solution to the Echo problem. Run in and shoot him. If he's not alive, you can't. They didn't even focus on the diffuser anymore. They just figured, you know what? Fool me once, it's my fault. Fool me twice, go in and shoot you next time. It just, that's the way to do it.
I'll shoot you in the face.
It seems like an adequate solution in this. Although I think it was probably the last kill. It was like, all right, if we just try and plant this, he's just going to hit us. Well, they might have even seen him because they were droning around there and just.
That is the sacrifice of not having a Mira. They were not able to predict the Ash running in from the main hallway down the stairs.
Yeah.
And just meant she could get behind both of them and at least shut down anybody that's sitting down at the end of the hallway, in the armory behind the boxes, but also anybody sitting on the site itself.
Absolutely.
Fantastic play here from Gaming, but there is still a map being set up as we speak. That's map number 2, Bank. We saw explosive play yesterday. A lot of new play styles from especially Rogue opening up the entire floorboards.
All kinds of different sites.
All kinds of different sites. We even saw open area in a professional game.
As well as CEO.
As well as CEO. Well,
I hope we'll see more of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get down and see what Bank has in store for us. As so far, it's been a pot of gold, to say the least here, Devin.
There we go.
I'm ready to be a dad, aren't I?
Someday. All right, Rook coming up for a second, and then Spawn's changing his mind over to Valkyrie. So that is down to lockers, CCTV, as you would expect for the first round. Pretty rare to play something different, unless you're Rogue, I suppose, who did start on pretty different, starting with CEO last time. Otherwise, pretty much this is the standard. Glass still coming out from both these guys. Zephyr bringing out, I imagine we'll see it from GCR as well. We've seen some good glass pushes from the sewer tunnels, kind of the map's equivalent of the dirt tunnel. We'll see if we see that again. But setup time revolts on the pulse again. See if you can actually find some good use for that. Typically see a lot of pulses able to play, for example, safely in that gold vault right there next to the bomb site to get intel on people approaching, because attacking the vault side, attacking the B bomb is actually pretty rare in comparison with going after the server's bomb, or the CCTV bomb rather. So many CCTVs in this game. It just makes me feel like I'm being watched.
Who would have thought they need security on Bank? You know, sometimes feel like somebody's watching you, right?
Yeah. All right, well,
As they
Spawn's
break into the song.
look at him warming up his hand there, just shooting, knifing. He's so antsy after that win. They got pumped.
It is something, though. We had this conversation with Kicks not too long ago. It was like every single player in every single esport has a crutch, something that they
little twitch.
Yeah, there's a knife. There's switching your weapons. There's, you know, in certain games, for in RTS, you just click between different hotkeys that you have. In here is just knife the wall. That's it.
You gotta have your fiddle.
You know, QE, 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 QE.
Yeah, the lean dance, right? There is a roamer up here in open area that Spark is going to find soon. Drone down, but doesn't matter. That's going to force GCR to reposition. He's unwilling to give up that room, though. And you're going to see Brid here actually going to be able to put some pressure from above if he wants to buck that floor. Could be a little risky to do so, though, as maneuverability in that room is a little funky with those cubicles there, but he's going to open up some sight lines down. Does force a different position for GCR as he's safely behind the other side of that reinforced wall because they set up for him to actually be able to play in there, which was the smart idea. It is paying off right now because otherwise Buck might have been able to open that, but FK1 backing him up. Interesting choice. They really want to be able to hold this roam. Brid, though, smartly, not going to just continue opening the floor. He's actually going to look at what he might want to shoot, and this is actually going to catch FK1. Nope.
Will he check
there we go.
inside of elevator? Yes, he will. He'll spot one, but he won't contest just yet. Just trying to find a correct angle here to buck through. It's definitely a gamble here, and you see Bibu just opening up the side of Archives here.
That's what's going to matter. But GCR actually moving out means Bibu's flank is going to mean a little bit less. But Bibu wants to follow it up with a drone as well, so he knows, hey, I just got to go around there.
They spot the rotation into Tellers, so the Claymore here is so good. Even if he does go down, GCR set by Tellers. Very much open here, has FK1 to help him out.
I almost want him to just bait out the push now on him.
They have two ways of rotating. Either jumping over Tellers, getting into Archives where they face the Claymore, or they have to go through the stairs, and there are two players contesting from open area.
Yeah, that's a bad way to go then. So nicely played by Bibu, but he rotates off and decides, you know what, I'm going to go a different way, and that's going to stun Revolts downstairs. Doesn't actually get a kill, though.
With a 10-14 in hand, I believe that was a bit of a misclick going on the pulse, and damn. That's going to be Revolts going down, and here we go. FK1's rotation will get shut down. Nicely down the Claymore from Bibu, and GCR is still in the back. They know that we're two people, and they spot out one. Unfortunately, GCR will go ahead in this one. 35 seconds left on the clock, as now Zephyr is looking down into the server room here. CCTV just trying to find an angle. GCR again, they're trying to contest an Ella in a 1v1.
He is definitely winning that roam. It cost him his teammate of FK1, but that was due to the Claymore rather than due to a gunfight. So their roam seeming to be working here as the pressure is on. There goes one more. Bibu taking down GCR.
C4, nicely done. Spawns will take one out. That's Rafale out of play. Zephyr, though, is still up. He takes down Yuna. Can go for this diffuser plan here. Spawns running in. He's trying to find a correct angle, but he has to 1v1 the Zofia. Takes him down. No! Pulls out the Deagle. Goes in for the 1v1, and Spawns takes one. He still has one shot. Reloads the Deagle. Needs to reload the MPX here and can use the mirror window to his advantage, but you're 1v1ing a glass. The smartest thing that you can do is go all the way around. Unfortunately, there is a Nitro Cell, and by destroying the drone, information is now relayed to Zephyr, who will fall back on the glass and have an even better shot into A. And even anybody moving down, making a lot of noise here. Spawns already heard as he pushes into server room. Has to go through the dirt tunnel. 1v1ing the glass, not always the best of situations, but he wins it out. Will he have enough time? There's barely anything on the clock. Goes in for the diffuser tap. 1, 2, 3. But there's still one more to go, and attackers will take it just an inch away. And Supremacy make round number 1 happen on Bank with such a clutch play, even from the Claymore being set up from the Zofia.
You know what? That's what won. The Claymore. That was that extra split second that would have been able to get that fourth hit.
But look at Zephyr's glass play as well. The way he just pulled all the way back. It all took an extra second, and that would have been a win for the Valkyrie on
Definitely. It's just funny to think, just had he not had to shoot that Claymore, for example, earlier, that time alone.
How do you even see that Claymore?
You just get an instinct for red things that stick out, I guess, at some point. But that was a very, very good clutch attempt. Unfortunately, it doesn't win in the end. Great attack, though, from Supremacy. And they are going up. The first point on this map, unfortunately, lost the last match. So they've got an uphill battle here. So that is how you need to start when you're down a map. But again, it was close. They really could have lost that round. Some great roam play, though, by GCR, really working out until Bibu finally got him. Bibu tried to get him with the Claymore first, got FK1 instead. Not his intended target, but nonetheless, another nice 3-speed on the roam.
Still, the important part of this is Supremacy starting off on Bank, on the attack, understanding that you need to clear those roamers. And they were successful in it. They were able to pinch them out using Archives. Zofia just running in. You would not expect the Zofia just waiting in Archives.
Well, you saw them know exactly when to stop and drone.
And add one more, they didn't open the skylight hatch leading into server. If they did, would have been an easy kill for the Valkyrie on the glass, would have completely ended the round.
Yeah, and that's something that I noticed a lot of teams over time stopped opening that server hatch when they didn't want it to work against them on the defuse plant. Because you can stand up there and guard the diffuser, but you leave yourself in a situation where you're exposed to focus down there. If you get killed, now they have the advantage on that diffuser. We'll see, though. Bibu actually holding an angle down in the parking garage there, trying to see if he can catch anyone who wants to rotate. Very often that doesn't work out, but if you're already close to site enough anyways and you don't need to rotate back anytime soon, it can be something worth trying just to catch a team off guard that tries to rotate that anyways. Legion Mine's actually going to be coming out from Brit this time. See if he can stop anyone. There we go. Someone is pushing Garage. GCR punished for his transgression, but not enough to really matter too much. That is going to stop him from rotating, though. That way, Bibu now can just back off if he wants to, having done his job.
Yeah, taking exactly 13 damage in that engagement. Twitch drone Combattant is going to get thrown in here. Just trying to tag down the Ella. Yeah, FK1 looking down into the stairs. Definitely can't get pushed here very quickly. He's looking for an ADS maybe, or an Ella mine that is set up. It gives a defending Ella here such a huge advantage, and is something that is very standard to do when you are playing on the staircase here. Spawns has taken control of the main stairway, leading right into the vault downstairs. GCR and FK1 reposition. Still trying to catch off an eventual Ella, if you will, but Ella is not to be found. Has fallen back. Revolt is going to set up a Claymore, just in case. This is a much more open Claymore to protect from anybody running in from below upstairs. Not too sure about the positioning, but this does mean that the Ash spawns will try to fall back at some point. Brit, again, going for the Legion. Be a great pick to have to just slow down their opponents as Yuna goes into Bank Garage. A lot of teams have been neglecting the Garage, but when they do not, it ends up going to their favor on the attack.
And you saw that early counter for that earlier from Bibu, not really getting enough damage, but it did slow them down. Spawn's almost dead, and Yuna has one phone call left. He could try and make to see if he can breach this there. He's going to use it right now, make it a little bit easier to enter. But all these guys just stuck outside the site. Yuna really wants to be in here, but can't seem to find anyone willing to give him the opportunity to do so. See if Spawns can do something with that little bit of life he has left. Surprised they don't go for a reset, but 30 seconds left. Definitely not enough time to, at this point. Looked like a little bit of a misfire there, but
Ella Trap's gonna get popped in here. Does he spot him? He's sitting right in front of him. Can't get the shot here. Oh, he's down. Here we go. Yuna gets one, but he hesitates for just a second. Bibu will be able to refrag, though. Spark peeks in on GCR, takes him out. What a spot from Revolt. Takes down one with the bearing. 9 and Spawns with the second. And Spark, there's still no time. And defenders of Supremacy pick up the second round.
You saw that just hopelessness on Revolt's like, well, I'm not winning this round.
Yep, definitely the case. As we head into round number 3, yeah, Gaming reeling a bit, but they are back on the defense. And I'm curious to see, Devin, how they change up the way that they were defending downstairs. We will go again for lockers and CCTV. I'm gonna go with Amira, a Jaeger, a Valken. Revolt's thinking about an eventual pick.
Now, last time they were very focused on that, the roam by FK1 and GCR, which was somewhat effective. Bibu, again, did read into that smartly with his drones. They've got to stop those. There we go. Interesting switch by FK1 and Legion. All right. Maybe he'll be playing back towards site, or maybe he'll play a little more of an interesting roam play.
An interesting thing is no smoke.
Yeah, that's definitely a... not a great pick. However, you can use Legion traps a little bit to stall them out if they don't bring a Thatcher, which is the case here. Assuming they don't nade anywhere near where they're going to plant, those Legion mines are going to be at a very, like, you know where they're going to plant, right? It's fairly predictable. The spot on the very edge of the room because you don't want to go in.
Exactly.
So knowing that, you can Legion mine a little bit around there. It's not the greatest stall. It's not like smoke level stall, but it is something they could factor in here. And he's got a lot more traps down.
And there are no EMPs, there are no Thatchers. This is very similar to your push, for example, if you're attacking a lobby on Consulate. You have to plant right at the edge. That's why you see Rafale going for the Thermite. And might be seeing Spawns here. An aggressive,
appropriately named Spawns.
Spawns, a spawn kill. If he can get Bibu here, this would be a pretty good pick. Zephyr trying to find an angle all the way through the bank here. Brit keeping it down and low, does not want to get headshot. We see Spawns falling back just a bit after opening the window. It does put your opponents on their feet. need to make sure, on their toes. They don't want to rush into opponents that are ready for them and might have set down a few cheeky angles that can get them shot from below.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of opening a lot of windows and really making them watch, especially on maps that are spawn peak heavy. This is not necessarily one of them, although it used to be before a lot of those spawn peaks were fixed. However, GCR actually trying to decide how he wants to roam, along with Spawns, actually, who's his roamer now instead of FK1. Not sure what FK1 is up to, but I do hear some Legion Mines factored. Nope, he's going to be on the roam as well. 3-man roam here, just GCR, or just Yuna down on site, pretty much along with Revolts. FK1, unfortunately, taking a bit of damage on this roam. Gonna have to keep delaying. Oh!
And that's why you play the Glass Zephyr here, all the way on the outside of the parking. You see the Legion going down FK1. Of course, Legion, you want to keep him alive as long as possible to get as many goo mines as you can.
That's true. If he gets recovered, at least in the meantime, he's saving up his little goo mines and his little goo mine piggy bank.
Unfortunately, Bibu will shut him down and pop that piggy right on down.
Unfortunate for him. He's all popped all over the place. No more make it bake it for him, as he is the first to die of the roamers. There are 2 more, though, as we see Brid gonna try and clear them out. But this is slow and steady, and those Legion Mines still leaving the legacy behind of FK1 for Brid to just trickle on over.
One thing to notice about Supremacy here is that they did open the hatch in Skylight this time around. GCR trying to contest in Staff Room, taking a lot of damage, but he's being surrounded. And if they can shut him down, that's the second kill that they need. Means that all the others are going to have to fall back on the set from the defense. But GCR comes in, Rafael will go down, and he spots the diffuser going down, which means no more thermite. The wall has not been reinforced, at least one of them. One from server is, but the other has been shot in a way where you need to use utility. And in
we
the
saw
case
him doing that a lot before on
yes,
other teams as well.
You need, as a defender, you just blow out everything that is not the wooden panels. And Bibu, if he used up all of his lifeline shots, won't be able to shut it out so they can push right in. Now he will walk right into Spawns, and Bibu will be able to take him out. But remember, there's no thermite. There's 3 people alive on the defense, and the other 4 from the attack are
they don't
ready
need that
to
thermite now. Bibu used the last utility to open that up.
Oh, 10 seconds on the clock. The C4 can be deadly here. GCR gets 1. C4 will get thrown out. And does not hit. All right, GCR takes 1, has to run in. Diffuser has not been planted. 0 seconds remaining, and Zephyr taking down 2. Not enough. GCR still alive up top, looking down from the office, from open area, and takes down the last.
That was
what
at least a 3 or 4K from him in that round. GCR just on a rampage on this map and the previous map. That was just well done. I think that C4 might have got shot out of the air just in all the chaos.
In all the chaos. Very, very true.
Teller's Archives, there we go. Now they're going to have to go up after winning that downstairs. But yeah, that was a crazy fight at the end there. Good play by the roamers, especially GCR rotating back to site after getting kind of pinched out. He was getting surrounded, decided to push on the one guy trying to push through the little power room, getting that kill, and then just, okay, I'm good now. I can go back to site, and then continuing to kill from there. Well played by GCR. Excellent roam play as well as site play.
And taking down the diffuser carrier there means that it slowed them down a lot because he was still on the outside of the bank itself. Forced the attack to go all the way up. That wastes at least 15 to 20 seconds for them. And 15 to 20 seconds when you're facing a C4 and there is still one roamer that's looking down from the top side onto you, that is not an easy thing. That's not a thing to scoff at, that's for sure. But we are on Archives here, Teller Archives defense for Supremacy. We go with Rafael on the castle. And Spark as well to try and play things around with his bandit. A lot of bandit shuffles.
Yeah. In this case, though, Brid going to go back on that pulse that we saw on Clubhouse.
I mean, his name is Spark.
It's true. He's appropriately named, so we always like when they do that little synergy. It's how they do well, right? We'll see.
That's exactly. It's all the mind games.
Little power tricks, pro tips. FK1 spending more bullets to opening than he probably needed to, but he's obviously cautious of this room. I'm not sure the shock drone is the best thing to be using to scout it. However, he obviously has something in mind in case he needs to open anything. There is a mirror, probably downstairs, I imagine, at least, that he could use that on. But he's going to clear first. And again, clearing roamers with a shock drone is a bit of an expensive utility cost because chances are you're going to lose it.
But that's the thing in this situation. They might have been expecting a mirror window at least set up top
to try and guard from like CEO. Yeah, it's a pretty common thing, so it's not completely unexpected. But maybe let someone else drone that first with a more dispensable drone.
And we know how important taking control of CEO here because sure they don't have a buck, but they can still, if FK1, I'm not sure if he's running out with breaching charges. No, he's running out with the Claymore. All right.
That's fine. You still got
GCR, right?
Yeah, he just tear open that floor with it. And knowing him, he's the kind of guy who would look down through that floor, but he's actually on the main level. So he's actually going to be going around. He's going to take the lift and see where he can get to from here, as he's going to actually drone for his team.
Going up.
Drone's ready.
All right, Spawn's doing some droning as well. They're obviously stalling out a little bit here, trying to get an idea how to approach this. They know the bomb site. They know how it's been set up now. So at this point, it's just a matter of determining the attack, and this is the IGL's job to call out how they want to play this out, because it's 5-on-5, so they have all their utilities still available.
Yeah, they're going to take down as many of the cameras as possible, as FK1 sitting up in Skylight, just looking all the way down into the site. They're trying to get a quick pinch on the defenders as they rotate around the site. But Rafal taking down GCR. A bit of a... unable to shoot it in the air here, but will at least survive from it, not taking any damage. Remember, all 5 of the defenders are still on site. Only GCR in the glass has been taken out.
Now, Brid does have a nice advantage here in scouting everyone with that heartbeat sensor. This is really working out for his team because they're able to reposition, and Yuna, though, getting a nice kill on the Big is going to hurt that.
Fortunately, the pistol can't really go too far through the walls. One taken down, but Rafal will refrag. FK1 is down on the floor. 25 seconds on the clock as Yuna is up and ready, but barely inching his way through. Goes in for the shot, takes down one. Rafal will drop him, and that is the diffuser on the floor. Now Habana turning around with her bearing 9. Spark and spawns and revolts. Up a line, moving it down onto the site. He spots one, downs him, finishes him off. But there's still spawns that needs to pick up the diffuser. It's all the way in the back. No time remaining. And all 3, they fall. Yeah, just going for the 1v1 fights, and they win it out. How did that even work?
I know, I was just sitting there waiting for them to lose on time because Spawns was more concerned with the frags than getting the diffuser.
Half a tick.
But you know what? It worked because they got the kills very close. I feel like maybe Supremacy should have played for time a little bit on that, but you know, it's so hard to make those kind of decisions when it comes down to the wire like that because there's so much going on, and any kind of hesitation could cost you your life or the win of the round. So you just got to go with your gut. Unfortunately, didn't work for Supremacy that time. But hey, Yeah are going to be trying their time at Tellers here as they won their downstairs last round as well. So it is their chance to see if they can defend it any better than Supremacy did. Going to be going with a little bit different setup. I feel like that pulse was pretty useful by Brid just because of his positioning, and he never exposed his head most of the time. He had to get kind of rushed in on to even be killed. He was providing a lot of intel and positioning around the site for his team, as well as being able to see who's playing above on the floor. So that I had to imagine that factored in, even though we can't always see that. But they are going to have FK1 with those Legions again, so he could at least provide some intel with those on where they're attacking from, as well as slow them down a little bit, although it can be harder to find some choke points on here, other than hallways and stairs, to make sure those get stepped on.
Well, and you want to say a similar site, but the difference is here, Yuna, instead of reinforcing the Teller walls, completely opens it up.
Interesting choice. We'll see if that pays off for him or not. But he is playing with that mirror, so he does want to soften already, maybe to be able to do a little bit of work from there.
It has been a, how do you say, a pattern, if you will.
Yeah. Oh, he's going with the double windows, too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I like this play. He's got one access to the wall on the left side, and then the access to the door on the right side. That's assuming they approach from this side, but he's also got angles he can fight from the right side of it to shoot towards the other door as well. I think there's something there.
But I'm very skeptical, I have to say. Brid has gone for the buck pick.
Yeah.
So it can definitely take control of the top side, and by having 2 mirror windows inside, in a position,
open.
Yeah, pop it all open. Usually, it's the first spot you go for.
Yeah.
If you're playing Buck here, and he's definitely trying to keep it safe. Though GCR running out, will take down Bibu. That's a Zofia out of play. They rely on GCR to solo roam upstairs and take down as much of the enemies as possible. And already taking down Bibu, that is a pretty big pick.
He is definitely a good solo roamer. Not everyone does well on solo, like we gave Parajump for you today, but he's been doing a great job as a solo roamer because he seems to know how to make the right calls at the right time. People sometimes think roaming's easy, but it really comes down to a lot of tiny, tiny little decisions that can live or die by. Not to mention great communication with your team, and not just communication from you, but also understanding from the little details of what your teammates tell you where other people are playing and what you can do with that information.
Yeah, because unfortunately we are not all-seeing
But he does have at least a Valkyrie on his team, so you got to keep in mind that means he has extra access to information that can help him on that roam.
Yeah, at least this time using it perfectly. Again, kill number 1 just went down, and that is Bibu down on the floor in the Zofia. 1 minute and 7 seconds on the clock, and Spawns is setting up for a C4 down from the vault. Not usually a spot that you see, but that's why they open the entirety of tellers. This gives them the opportunity to bait in their opponents and take them down as soon as they get in.
Yeah, this is a situation where Yuna could just call out now, and that C4 goes through the air and does some damage.
They haven't taken down the Ella up top yet, and Britt hasn't even bucked the floor. He has gotten nowhere near what they're supposed to be doing,
yeah, I'm not
and
sure
time is ticking down.
Ooh, he's still going to fight GCR soon. Or no, I'm sorry, GCR's elsewhere.
Spawns is downstairs.
There we
GCR going 1v1 against FK1. And that will be the Legion out of play, but with Brit so low on HP, no time to reset. A single Legion mine with an extra take on top, you're down and out.
Well, we'll see. As Yuna gets picked off, that is the intel down, so Revolt would have to rotate the position, but...
Oh, C4 even getting a team kill here. Does not matter, those Spawns leaving Spark down on the floor. Zephyr has to go for the plant. He's hunting for the frag. He's low on HP. Diffuser's all the way on the top, and just the Valkyrie running all the way away. And somehow, what is this? Ring around the rosy. Pocket full of bullets, because this does not look like anything we usually see on Bang.
Yeah, you gotta love that. Just killing his teammate, even like, I'm just gonna kill everyone at this point.
You're a sacrifice worth making.
Yeah, no, and that's what you want from around where you team kill, is that, you know, you just got in the way of the bullets that are intended to hit the head of all these guys here, and they certainly will. Bibu actually pulling out the first Vigil for this map here. That should be interesting. But just the chaos of that play, Spawns playing it very interesting, and that Glaz just trying to frag hunt with such low HP, might have just wanted to go for the defuse plant, because if he got shot planting the diffuser, the amount of HP he has doesn't matter at that point.
Alrighty then, so 2-3. Still a possibility for the French team to come back, but yeah, definitely in the advantage. 3-2 and up 1 map. And now they set up for a Ying Glass push. They have FK1 on the sledge. Revolts on the Habana, and 8-4 for GCR. 7-1. 7-1.
That's a good number balance there. I would like to have myself. That is
7-1, by the way.
Attackers have located a bomb.
By the way, GCR back on that Glaz we talked so much about has been very effective on. That is going to help them potentially push their way towards match point. You're going to be on that Thermite just in case they need it for that wall, but a lot of these teams just opening that wall up, making it not so necessary. And Spawn's going to be bringing the Candelas. And of course, there's the Samira windows upstairs like you were talking about earlier. In this case, it may not make a difference. They don't have the Twitch anyways.
And they do open up trading. That is the important part of this defense. And you can definitely have the Vigil rotating up or just playing an open area. It's definitely not an easy Vigil. Now, you're saying roaming is very difficult.
Yeah.
A lot of people think, oh, you're playing Vigil, nobody's going to spot you.
It's so weird. The mentality you have to have as Vigil to remember you could not be seen by drones, but you could be seen by people. You have this sort of balance of like, I can move freely, but not too freely.
Yes.
So it is a tricky thing to play, and I feel like there is a certain skill level to Vigil that is underestimated. And I think some of the best Vigil players will come out in this next season. Season 7, I think, is where we'll really start to understand the depth of who is good at it and who's not. I expect good things based on what we've seen. Like these little shots coming down towards that mirror window. GCR gonna be the death machine if he can get the angle on Zephyr.
Still has 40 bullets in them in the mag and in reserve, so can't really throw away too many of them. PMM, not really the same power as the OTS. That
not quite.
Sure.
Headshot's a headshot though.
Yep, that is true. Yuna on the Thermite. Of course, no wall has been reinforced. No way to know that before, so they do stick to the Thermite. Can't even stick his Texan Dynamite.
Having trouble with the TVs as well.
Yep. Bibu up top here with the K1A, revealing himself just a bit. But this is the spot that we've seen GCR in the past and, yeah, in general, abusing. So they need to take care of the Vigil. And because of the way Vigil works, of course, with the ERC, he can sit anywhere in an open area, anywhere in the admin office, and just pick them off one by one and discharge on in.
Spawns is on the hunt for him, though, and he kind of knows he's around here. Makes me wish he was up one more floor using the double hatch angles, but here we go.
That's the thing.
Spark
here. They realize there's a Vigil here. They do spot him. Okay, he runs out of ERC just to the last second.
Oh, the bait.
Spark coming in. They spray through the wall. That's what's going on here, Spark. Just holding off an open area, pushing spawns away. And he spots one here. GCR can't get the pick and no damage done. C4 is going to get thrown, but nothing comes out of it. Diffuser is going to get taken, set down, as Brit from Supremacy shuts down Yuna. Still a hold from Garage, and GCR finds the angle on the
smoke. Oh, that Vigil, though, can't last. Diffuser gets planted, though. That's a great position for them to be in a 4v3.
And Spawns here low on HP can obviously pull back and use the hatches to his advantage, especially one in the office. Brid runs in, gets the kill. They have around 15 seconds to make this one push. And Zephyr gets one on FK1. Revolts still alive, lands the headshot. Just go away, I have you! GCR gets the kill, and Revolts with the final one. What perfect accuracy from the glass.
I really thought they were going to be able to defuse it in time to make this work, but Revolts with a great flank on that. GCR, though, they were just throwing bodies at him, just keep him busy.
Hey, come in, tap, bam, you're done.
Yeah.
Second one comes in, bam, you're done. That's the level of play.
Had Revolts not been alive, though, that would have been perfectly valid because they were keeping him from watching the diffuser. But Revolts took full advantage of that as well, came around at just the right time. Good teamwork from those two, and a heck of a leading to match point round for Yeah, and looking like we could see Yeah just finishing this here on this potential round to go forward. Let's see, though, if they can do that. They did map number 165 at Clubhouse. That was a tight match. We did see a situation where Supremacy made a comeback to bring it to overtime. I think it was in a similar scoreline, so it is entirely possible that we could see that here. But Yeah Gaming, not going to make that easy. Down on the good bomb site yet again. GCR at 11 kills, 8 from spawns. Between the two of them, they are just dominating this game.
You see the setup here from Yeah. They open up the entire wall, lining into CCTV. It'd be interesting to see where Yuna sets up, probably right on the reinforced wall. This is something of an older way of playing, but it is very much valid. We haven't seen a... there we go. So we're going to see the garage entryway being at least boarded off, but you can still put a mirror wall.
That would be interesting to do, just because there has been garage play here, which is not as common as it used to be.
But Yeah have definitely been using and abusing it, that's for sure.
And I like it because let's say you have a glass like Zephyr, and you're able to get into garage, get that wall open with Thermite, and just get an angle right down into red or to B. Like, that's a good situation to be in, to pick off people, and then they can't rotate as freely as well if there's anyone playing over towards the elevator side or trying to come down from the stairs.
Brids is going to sit up here on the terrace, checking inside of stock. Or stock trading, not going to be finding anybody. Yes, there is one defender set up in CEO. As Bibu makes his way in Legion line. Such an annoying thing to deal with, but you know what? That is the play style.
He knows now, though.
FK1 setting up. GCR moving in, does not check trading. And he gets the kill and now gets chased away. Supremacy will get one kill for one. They lose out Bibu, but arguably GCR being a huge pick with how important he has been so far.
Well, that is definitely a good start. At least he got one kill before dying, and that's on Bibu, who's also a great pick, who has been somewhat times the counter to GCR, so that was worth it. But Zephyr with a nice kill through the windows on FK1, taking full advantage of those long sight lines of the lobby. And that is a nice kill as well onto that FK1 roamer. That is another roamer down. I imagine Spawns might still be on the roam. He was last time the third roamer, but no, it looks like they could all be on site down there, deciding it's not worth throwing more bodies at with still a minute 30 left to go.
GCR and FK1, as you say, are down. No more Legion, no more Ella. And these hatches have become a lot less of a nuisance, with most players from the defense just falling back onto the site. Zephyr is down below, trying to push into servers, taking control of that. They won't open the top hatch, even though they have the utility for it. Sprid and his teammate Rafal on the Thermite move in bit by bit. Now, we have a similar setup on the wall. Revolt's holding all the way in the back from the elevator.
Buck can take care of that, as you hear him doing right now.
Exactly. And that's the thing that they might not have anticipated. It's a big reason of why you bring the Buck, because it just helps out having extra support to deal with.
Speaking of extra support, C4 coming out here. They have 2 C4s on board. Yuna's got one as well, so this is going to delay it a while, but they bet they wish they had a smoke at this point.
Yep. Rafal is going to move in, go in for the diffuser plant. He's going to bait out the C4, and Zephyr gets one and the C4 as well. That is just showing off, my friend. And Yuna spraying in with the mirror, gets shot down. Zephyr, they all run right into him. One more alive. It's Yuna down and Revolts on the Jaeger. Gets one for Spark. And the Fuser has been set. 3 players remaining. He's going to try to rotate all the way from above, have a long sight lane from both of the hatches here, but it's not going to be enough. Yeah, might just have to face them for one more. It's a definite possibility to go into overtime. It's very low in HP.
This is what we saw last map, though, is them being able to pull it back in the end here. Looking like we could see that yet again, although last time that did go over to Yeah for the victory.
Nicely done from Lafayette.
So that is bringing it that much closer to that overtime you're talking about. And that's what I said I wanted to see. I wanted to see some close games here. I want to see this back and forth. But that being said, that does not guarantee Supremacy any kind of close victory here, because Yeah Gaming's still up a point, and at that point is match point. So that's the point, is that they could win right now in this round
or
take it home.
They'll need 2 more points.
I don't think they want to do that, and I feel like we saw last time where they just were like, forget this, all right, we're done, and just collapse on them. Like the last round of the last map was pretty brutal in terms of them just massacring people, and I feel like Yeah are going to feel the same way right now. Just, you know what, let's just end this now, because they can end this now, and if they could just play to the top of the level for one more round, they can rest up until tomorrow.
Rest up until tomorrow. They have so much to do. 12 kills.
Double digits out of GCR. Doing some work on both roles. Glaz as well as Ella playing both attack and defense. Doing quite well. Bibu, who also has been a good player, has also been getting taken out early quite a few times by some of these people on his entries. And some of that time has been from GCR. So it's been interesting to see the counters here. Everyone's showing up today. I wouldn't say there's anyone who's not, but I think some people showing up a little bit more than others. And that's definitely been a big boon for Yeah Gaming, who are just so close they could taste victory here.
So close to playing the other side of these walls, right down in the venue. Zephyr opening things up. It's very close. Very, very close. Definitely needs this round to tie it up 4-4, go into overtime, and give Supremacy, but also the French scene in general, a reason to stick behind them.
A reason to live.
A reason to live.
Oh, here we go. This showdown potentially coming soon between Brid and this Glaz of GCR. Just not baiting him out enough. He needs a Legion Mine on one, or he's got one on both sides basically to detect his approach. I like that idea, but GCR just smartly sticking back, not wanting to approach it too closely. Smoke's coming out so he can see through it, but now he's got teamwork there. Candelas, I imagine, going to come around through there. So those Legion Mines may not matter too much if he can get blinded by those Candelas and give GCR the chance he needs to just start popping some shots.
Unit is going to move right on in. And we'll start knifing. They're trying to bait out the push as more smoke nades are going to get thrown in. Remember, those are of limited use and supply at this point. Candela, #1, has been used, and the second and third has been thrown, and that's all to get onto the site. Not the best use of it. The Spawn just opens fire, gets one. He gets hit twice here, almost going down. Has to get the Legion Mine off the foot. He will go down to the floor. Nicely done here from the defense with the Legion set up. Zephyr spraying down, taking down GCR, and it's 2 left alive from the attacking side here of Brazil. As we get closer and closer to a tie. Yuna will get rezzed up here, and there's still a hard wall. Of course, a hard hatch right above them.
And a hard 1 minute left, that's for sure, as there is definitely a chance we could see overtime with the man advantage on Supremacy side, but there is definitely enough time left as well.
Cool.
Although Spawn's going down, it's not going to help.
Yuna will go in for the spray, gets one. That's Mark down on the floor. Now they go in for the drone with the Habana. Revolts up top. Can definitely watch if Yuna can get down that plant. And it's still coming in. C4 might have been in the hands of Zephyr here on the Mira. Definitely possible to shut things down. But if the 1v1 fight in the smokes will get popped. 29 seconds on the clock. Definitely perfect timing for the smoke to delay things. Revolts might have to jump through and push through Red Hall, but it's definitely not the easiest job, really, to go with. Yuna running right on in. Smoke is going to get thrown out. Yuna going solo on HP. Bibu sprays in. Bibu with a double kill. And Yeah, will go down. Supremacy tie it up. And this will go into overtime.
What an intense back and forth match between these guys. Exactly, like I said, what I was hoping for, and we've seen it both times. Yeah Gaming going 2 points up to match point. Supremacy bringing it right back up to overtime. And as I said last time, it did go in a Yaz edge, and it still could this time. But I hope it is yet again another 6-5, depending on who that is. 6-5 is the perfect way to end this either way.
Supremacy on defense, and they go for Teller's Office Archives.
Interesting, yeah, they have choice of wherever they want to go. I mean, CEO would have been funnier, but Teller's Office Archives, I do feel like maybe they just felt a little more confident on that site. Also, I think if you're Yeah Gaming, you're probably going to be expecting them to go downstairs, so that throws things off just a little bit. And they're bringing a castle ball things, so I imagine they're going to set up a little bit upstairs. That's going to help their roam play. They have been playing a lot of heavy roam, so in this case, we may see, I could even see the smoke of Rafael on the roam. FK1, not even 1 on his score. Fortunately, going to be FK0 for the day if he can't get at least 1 more here. He's
FK0.
Unfortunate for him, but I doubt that's going to stay till the end. I mean, he's been playing great support, though. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
It's just...
It's you can see it in the assists, but definitely, hey, it's in the spirit of Canada.
When you're a Legion player, too, you're going to get way more assists than kills half the time.
Exactly.
Because some of those assists from the Legion mines are going to count towards that. So that is softening people up, getting some intel. Definitely not writing him off, but we got to give him bad time when he's gone this many rounds and hasn't gotten killed yet.
Supremacy setting up for this one here as they reinforce the wall leading into Tellers and even set up more reinforcements up top in CEO. Brit and Bibu might just be the two that take control of this, and leaving at least 2 below and holding on to the stairs, and make sure that you can push away any rotations from open area. You hold the top side, nobody can come in from Skylight or from trading, and that's CEO all taken care of.
Yeah, they are collapsing on a good GCR, definitely picking the right spot to attack when they are going to be playing up there, and he knows it. He knows they like to roam on this. He's just got to try and catch them. He's got to tap into that castle barricade and just open a nice breezeway in there.
GCR just keeps tapping through. He's got a ton of ammo to play with. And to say that now he's down to 34 rounds in mag and in reserve.
You say that like that isn't enough when it only takes a couple to kill at most.
Yeah, it's all about the accuracy, and we saw it. GCR not only fantastic on the Ela, but also on the glass. Tap 1, tap 2, and turns for the rest. Could have gone for the 3K if his teammates were able to help him. For some reason, Bibu staying around on the castle in the garage, maybe expecting rotation from downstairs to push away.
The safety of the police car. He wants to just get inside. Please take me away. This bank is dangerous.
FBI, right? It's FBI. It's castle.
Well, unfortunately for him.
Spark works out here. He jumps out, trying to play an old school Mav, as we saw back in Brazil. Zephyr will get kill number 2. That spawns taken down on, they still are alive with Yuna. And Revolts just finishes off Spark
Worthwhile
here.
trade, though. Take it down, especially spawns. That was going to be important. That FK1, as we said, FK0 at the moment, so not as important of a kill on attack, but spawns is going to be a big pick. Now, if they could take down GCR and leave it all to Yuna and Revolts, that would be bad. You saw the phone call going out there from Yuna as well, so he's just going to start spamming their phones until they block his number, and he's going to try and walk right into sight.
Oh my god! Rafael will go down. Nicely done from Yuna, but he's getting sprayed from the top side. That's the hold from CEO that we're talking about, because you can use those shots for your side on the defense. It's not only the Buck that can take control of the top and shoot
That's true.
down.
Now, of course, if they do, then that's going to work against them, but it is a great way to cover a plant if you get the actual plant down. Bibu actually rotated all the way back up to the hallway. Try and find another position. Oh, the heads just barely inside of each other. It is unfortunate for Yuna. He just keeps trying to tap on up, but they have the advantage, and there is the advantage of Bibu going over on Revolts.
GCR
back.
Nicely done. Takes down Bibu. This moves right on in. Trying to check from the top side. Remember, the castle is down, but Brid is definitely upstairs, and Zephyr can't help out. That is Zephyr upstairs, excuse me, and Brid as well. So they have to shut down the diffused plant before they can come down, and they only have a couple spots to move through. Little time remaining as Yuna is low on HP, and Brit will take down GCR. Diffusers on the floor, 2 seconds remaining. Yuna sits down right on the side. Last second, all 2 players now jump in from Supremacy. Yuna's low on HP, and Zephyr just taps him out. Supremacy take round 1 of the overtime.
Unfortunate that smoke couldn't cover both doors as they just run in from both sides. It almost looked like you couldn't see him for a second because, well, how he blended into that filing cabinet. But nicely, I feel like that was a good attempt from Gaming, but now 5-4 in Supremacy's favor. I still think we'll see a 6-5, though. I mean, I'm not sure who will be the 6, but I could see Gaming coming back on this because of just the back and forth between these guys. And now with Supremacy on attack and the solid defense of downstairs, Yuna actually picking Rook should be interesting. Not sure who Revolts is going to go with. Jaeger, there we go. So we'll see if they can hold this off. Again, no smoke, though. And that is something I always question, because those C4s don't always come off, especially when there's Zephyr on the glass to just tap, tap, tap those C4 throwers, as we saw him do last time, to stop that. So that is only 2 C4s to try and save it between Spawns and FK1.
Zephyr, Spark, and Bibu all on the board. 10-7, 9-13, 9-5. Revolts with 6, and FK1 with the amount of assists that he's gotten, he's even on 4th place.
If he could just finish those off, he'd be a champ.
That's the role of a support, Devin.
I know it all too well. Someday I'll learn how to click the head, and until I do, it'll be Legion all the way.
Legion all the way. Legion all the way.
So they are definitely setting this up again to try and stop any kind of Thermite or anything like that. Yet, for some reason, we keep seeing them bring Thermite. And we're just not even seeing it used. It's like, it's this weird backup plan.
It's like Thermite plus Buck. Why would you bring the Thermite if you just have the Buck to deal with this anyways? I mean,
they're really thinking it's possible, I suppose.
Sure, you might be thinking of the one wall from server leading into CCTV, but it's only one wall. You can definitely just open up one hole, and even most of the time, all you need is Zephyr on the glass watching a tight angle on the doorway itself, and that's all you need.
Yeah, it's definitely not been super effective. Not that there hasn't been kills being made, especially when Yuna's on that Thermite. He's actually been a very effective Thermite with that gun. But nonetheless, drones getting taken down here as people are getting cleared out. And there's Zephyr playing that top parking garage as well, trying to get a nice angle on in. He's not finding anyone, unfortunate for him, as it doesn't look like they want to be roaming up there at the moment. But this is a nice assistance on the roam clear, right? Because as these people, as Bibu pushes in, for example, he's going to be pushing other people away from him potentially, which could then expose them to Zephyr. So there's some good strategy to that, even if he doesn't have a good angles. And there's GCR, the target of this investigation, as he's going to huddle behind that desk. Paperwork won't save you. He's going to have to go on the run, try and hide him. Oh, I like the angle there, trying to get some good intel as shots come at him.
Close to the feet here, just looking into Janitor. You see the contestant and even droning a very very odd drone place to drone in. As Bibu comes in with the Zofia. Checking around in CEO, they spot one player inside. GCR gets taken down. Nicely done by Bibu here. Takes a bit of damage in the meantime. Yuna as well, going down to 50% HP. A great start for Supremacy.
Looking for a chance to actually take this to map 3 here. They're already at the advantage, especially since their one pick wasn't just a random, it was GCR. And that is an important pick in this.
And they spot out Revolt in staff room, just pulling back just a bit. Going down at 8% HP here. Hastily will get taken down. Nicely done from Brit. 5-3 now. Yuna, remember, 50 HP. FK1 in spawns. Back down on the site as Yuna setting up on the Rook.
They definitely are getting ready for that C4 throw, but they are also getting ready for that attack. And we saw what happened last time when Zephyr was left alive, and then no GCR to help on that to get some kind of flank. They're going to be a tight spot here. And you see, you didn't even need the Buck there. Bibu's just got enough nade damage to do it. But FK1 playing an interesting flank. Here's the first C4, potentially.
Yuna with a great angle from the lockers, but the diffuser will get rushed in. They're trying to bait things out. More shots lining Ron in from
there we
here.
go.
C4 from Spawn takes down Rafal. And there's still one more C4 to be played from FK1. A great bit of play from Gaming. Grit is now forced to go in with the Buck, but Spawns will get the kill on Bibu. Second one goes in. FK1 will drop Brit. Now it's Spawns and Zephyr against FK1, Yuna, and Spawns low on HP. And more gas nades rushing in. Spark runs in, gets one, and won't be able to get any more here. No, diffuser's being planted as we speak. Goes in for the 1v1, and Spark does it again! 2 kills down, and Supremacy make it to map number 3.
And that's the way to do it. That was a close one. I mean, maybe not having smoke was the big linchpin in that, but they definitely landed both those C4s. So landing both of those was the important difference. And that's what you want to see, right, in a situation where you're playing smokeless like that. So excellent play by Supremacy.
What an excellent game. I have to say, my heart is beating. I was jumping from joy because this was a clutch to be 10-9, 10-10-10. All 3 top players from Supremacy and Gaming as well, pulling a lot of weight behind them, but it was so close. The play with the C4 operator rotations by the Mira and the Valkyrie, that is ingenious play from knowing exactly when to fall back on the site.
Unfortunately for them, it wasn't enough to stop it, though, because that one guy was able to get the plant down while he was being covered. It was perfect teamwork in that situation because they knew they were under the wire on time, and just the chaos ensued. I mean, they were almost locked out on their own on the defense side because they could only approach from 2 angles. So
with angles, there's still one map, Devin. We will have one map here to finish things off. However, in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, everybody's huddling in. Both teams are ready for the win. Only one, though, can make it out. Though in the meantime, we're going to go for a quick video break, and we'll be back for map number 3. It is tied 1-1, Yeah Gaming from Brazil, and of course, Supremacy from France.
I remember in this clutch, I was pulling my hair out. It was too fast for a player to do that.
A eliminação em cima do jogador, quase tenta uma double kill. Olha o Nesk, double kill pra ele. Vai partir terceiro, triple kill. 4K do Nesk, impressionante. Mais uma situação complicada pra ele. Tem um pixel melhor, o Nesk consegue um clutch espetacular. Um clutch que pode garantir a vantagem que a Black Dragons precisava pra ir pra...
Typically, when you're in a 1v5, you're not supposed to win.
You could expect sometimes that players can do this kind of things, but not exactly how he made it.
Depending on the situation when it comes to a 1 versus 5 clutch, it could mean a lot or it can mean a little. If we're talking about in Pro League with players that are on the same level as you, it's one of the greatest feelings that you can get.
When you're watching a teammate try to clutch an almost unwinnable situation, all the stress kind of goes away. You just have full confidence that he's going to make the right decision. And so that's when he can perform at his best.
You gotta have a lot of luck, you gotta have at least a little bit of negligence on the enemy team's side, and you have to be completely in the zone, just thinking about nothing but exactly where the enemies are, what angles you need to challenge, what angles you need to avoid.
Some of the most important things like to consider while you're playing it is try to isolate opponents and get into as many 1v1s as possible, because you are outnumbered. You want to get into the 1v1 engagements.
He gets the 4K clutch in a 1-on-4. What a wonderful job here. Black Dragons, Pen Gaming.
They were playing against Pen Gaming, and it was really a matchup. I was started to scream, the adrenaline was exploding in my body, and I started to shake.
Tava parado só mirando aí, esperando alguém implantar, entendeu? Não tinha muito o que fazer, tava só mirando aí. Quando o Zig morreu, eu falei, aí complicou. Perder um X5 é quase impossível ganhar no Rainbow Six, né?
Segue belo trabalho.
Quando eu matei esse cara aí eu falei, mano, não vou perder isso aqui não, aqui eu vou ganhar. Eu não escutei a Ashka ainda. Tanto que se você ver o Zig aqui, ele vai falar, ó, mais um. Aí eu viro e consigo matar.
Vai partir terceiro, triple kill, 4K do Nesk, impressionante!
Aí tinha a câmera ali, eu sabia que eu não ia morrer pra ele nesse pix, porque é muito roubado. Quando você mata o quarto cara, normalmente sua adrenalina vai subir. Sobe muito a ponto de você tremer.
Mais uma situação complicada pra ele, tem um pixel melhor, o Nesk consegue um clutch espetacular!
Passou na cabeça, foi que, caramba, eu consegui fazer isso. Eu olhei pros lados, e o Oni colocou a mão na cara, eu falei, nossa, velho. Mas a energia que o time teve depois disso foi uma coisa inacreditável, cara. Eu mesmo senti isso, na hora eu fiquei todo arrepiado, entendeu?
After you get the clutch, it's a rush of excitement and feeling. I definitely think that it's one of the reasons a lot of pros stick around and are still trying to be the best.
Dès qu'un kill est pris, dès qu'une round est gagnée, dès qu'une map est gagnée, dès qu'un match est gagné, en fait, c'est tous ces sacrifices qu'on payait.
Pra mim foi um momento especial, porque foi meu primeiro clutch que eu ganhei, meio que eu descobri um pouco do potencial que eu posso ter. Naquele momento isso despertou e eu consegui fazer aquilo. Então foi onde eu pensei, se eu me dedicar mais, eu vou conseguir aumentar o meu nível de habilidade. Então desde aquele dia eu procuro treinar sempre, ainda mais. Procuro buscar esse mesmo potencial que eu tenho. Eu não sei se um dia eu vou conseguir, mas eu espero que sim, com toda essa dedicação que eu tenho, mas...
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. After another fantastic video, we saw the clutches there from Nesk. Unfortunately, his team of Team Liquid in our previous matchup did go down to Mind Freak. At least we have APAC moving on to the round of 8 tomorrow. However, we still have an explosive matchup. Every single game we've had today so far have been absolutely amazing.
This is 3 of 6.
And we haven't even finished the qualifier group stage to move to tomorrow's quarterfinals. It is absolutely insane. There's so much more Rainbow Six coming up in the Invitational 2018 live from Montreal, Canada. Of course, we come back to an explosive game. It is, of course, Yeah Gaming from Brazil. As they say, muito impressionante. Very, very impressive. Of course, playing against Supremacy, the French here. They are extremely impressive as well, to say the least. Very, very
You'll have to practice saying very impressive in French for next time.
Je le sais bien.
Nonetheless, we're going to
Très
Consulate.
impressionnant. Let's just
There
say
you go. Consulate is the final map, and this is one I think we could see both teams again taking it to a 6-5. So I'm expecting big things. So far, I've been getting my wish, and it has been an amazing match. Making it 3 maps alone, always great, but we'll see if we can make it to overtime on map 3.
This is the thing. This game, you know, you watch a lot of matches in Rainbow Six. We spent literally our entire day either casting or watching.
Our entire lives at this point.
At this point, pretty much. It does feel like an eternity. However, a lot of times when you have closer games, you're thinking, oh, it's because, you know, both teams are making a lot of mistakes and, well, each one is capitalizing on the other. It's a bit of a weaker game, even though it gets very close. A lot of clutches here. Each one of these two is giving it everything they've got. It very much is for all the marbles. No mistakes, and a single one costs you the round. It might cost you the map, and that was the case for map 2. Yeah, going down to tie it up to go to Consulate.
I feel like Bank is where we saw even more just very last-second things winning rounds, even more so than Clubhouse. And I feel like if that was down to the wire before, what's left for Consulate is just going to be desperate plays when they start getting down. The first team to really get a good lead and just continue with that morale and to try and demoralize the other team, that'll be the team that can push ahead in this. But we haven't seen either team be able to hold more than a 2-point lead. In this case, it's Yeah Gaming holding it both times, but losing it on map number 2 to a final 2-point lead of 6-4 from Supremacy. So it is definitely doable for either team to get a 2-point lead, but can either guys exceed that? So far, they have not been able to, and this is not a map that either favors either side, really.
Yeah, of course, a 6-4, 6-4 win up from before. It's the heart and mind and soul of the olden days from Youngtis that is now in the hands of Supremacy here, though this is a great play. Of course, you are defending the top side here of the console office, and a very important beachhead for the attackers, as we always do repeat, is admin office here. See, GCR is holed up close here with the Ella, can just rotate to any side. He is, of course, that 3-speed, dreaded 3-speed, if anything, and at least has the Jaeger inside of the site on an off angle to the right side of the attackers. They just sit down and use the ADS to his advantage.
Yeah, we've talked about his importance both on attack and defense, but he's actually playing a little close to side at the moment, trying to hold it as best he can. He's got to set up rotates for himself. You saw those impact nades doing part of that job to make sure they have some idea. Now, there was a little bit of Rook spotted there. That's Yuna going to be in a bad position here. If Capsal can capitalize on that, does shoot him in the back and then the head. And that's exactly what his drone was for. Now Revolt's feeling the pinch a little bit, trapped in the bathroom, as his friend just died so close to him. And then there you go. You hear that nice fire there from the Blackbeard Spark. That definitive sound.
A very scary sound. Oh, hey, whoa, here we go. Buddy. FK1 snaps it in. Bibu, Goko
highlights.
Has no idea what is going on.
Bibu, too busy playing on his phone. And unfortunately, that is not the kind of phone call
this generation, definitely.
Right? Just be with your friends.
Wow, that was downstairs, close. Almost getting the shot here on the Valk, turning around. Brit and Rafal will get a kill each. And that's Yuna, FK1 in spawn, taken away. GCR and Revolts left alive. It's a perfect spot for Revolts to be in because you can chuck your Legion traps wherever you want, and also impact here as best as you can, really. You can shut down anybody moving in from hallway and from yellow stairs.
They definitely know he's in there at this point. Unfortunately, Thermite doesn't have any magic tricks up his bag.
Oh, Brit runs right on in, takes one down. GCR survives and just hanging by a thread. Full HP, but has to push through on the bathroom. Perfect spot from Brit. And Supremacy start off very, very strong here on the attack.
Baby, not feeling too bad about getting knifed from behind after that, though. And that was a nice attack. Once they got past that moment, they seemed to very good execute on that. And then just the play from all the angles, the Capitao getting the Rook of all things, who just overextended his back. That was unfortunate. You just didn't seem to know what was going on as soon as the shots came in, and just fell to that easily. And that's where it really started getting bad, because that trapped the Legion in the bathroom in a situation where I love Brid's jumping, though. You know, the Thermite was like struggling, like, hey, I can't deal with this guy in the bathroom. He's at an angle where I can't jump in and shoot him. Brid's like, I got this. Let me go grab my SMG, jump in and shoot him in the face. That's exactly how you handle that.
Thankfully, the jump mesh is going to be fixed very soon.
So you can tell that that's how you're dying, right?
Yes.
So the bullets don't come from the side of your face.
Exactly so. It is, of course, always an improvement at work in progress. Bebu opening up both sides here after reinforcing just the middle. Brit might want to put a single Mira window there. There are, of course, a couple positions to set in. Of course, the kitchen janitor / microwave area, if you will, is another spot to give them control of admin and at least give them some ability to pull back if they get pushed too hard.
I think it's interesting also that both teams wanting to start on the top floor. That's not necessarily the preference they've shown in the past. For example, I believe I remember Supremacy last time starting on the garage basement. So they're definitely both trying to do similar ideas to an extent, but definitely changing up how they execute them, like the castles, for example.
Yeah.
And this is something you've seen Supremacy do before.
And it's just, I think it's just to not have to deal with a Ying early on in the game, because we've seen even Liquid and Mindfreak in the previous match trying to play around that kind of meta by just pushing through from the back of server, which is not a usual thing at all, and both really proved why it does not ever happen. So you kind of have to force yourself as an attacker even to do these kinds of cheesy plays at some people.
Yeah, and they have a sledge, for example, but a lot of those doors are going to expose a lot of his body to try and sledge that open, so he's almost better using grenades in the process. I mean, GCR also can take shots through those castle barricades, see if he can try and get someone that way. He's cooking that a little long. I'm glad he decided to abort that. Looked like he might have naded himself if he kept going a little longer. But he is hoping to get something going on here, and there's someone just sitting patiently there, and the nade getting patiently cooked for Rafael. We'll see if he can do any damage. Doesn't do anything to him. Maybe a hair. Here comes the second one. Cook it on up. There is the ADS actually picking that up because he opened the wall to the ADS.
Unlucky, my dude here. FK1 up top and has no more grenades.
That's Rafael saving himself, really, because he's the one who put those up.
Definitely can't throw that breaching hammer on any of the attackers just to down them. That would be a sweet thing to have.
No work on that.
No work on that. Work in progress. You know, coming soon.
Right. Now he's got another angle here, trying to catch Rafael on those stairs. Obviously, Rafael doesn't want to expose himself, but he did open that with their nade, and that mirror window working well here for Brid.
So that's a spot you don't usually see for a Mira.
You got to anticipate people coming to bathroom for that to even be worth it. And there's plenty of ways to get a Twitch drone in there and shock that early. So we'll see. There's some breach charges coming out. Spawn's trying to push from the top of spiral stairs, trying to get an angle, but Zephyr's actually playing that long desk, going to be there to try and counter him if he goes for a rush, and is looking at the bathroom instead. So he needs to not give away his position. Zephyr needs to play this smart. But in the meantime, FK1 finally falls due to the Rafael on the stairs, but GCR gets that kill he wanted. Trading back, Spark gets one, GCR gets another on the trade. Bibu kills a unit, and it's down to 2v3.
2v3, GCR taken down to 30% HP. There's not much to play around with here, but the diffuser has been planted. He jumps her at a side. Spark takes down GCR, and the defense of the glass is now out of question. They still have to run through from the top, and Bibu lands the headshot. It's Revolts to fall to the floor, and diffuser will get taken out. Nicely done, Supremacy. Round number 2 on the board.
They are blowing up this map. Not that we haven't seen them do that in the past on previous maps, but they are definitely doing some unfortunate. So loving what's going on from Supremacy here. Yeah, Gaming though gonna need to adapt and bring it back here so we can see that 6-5 yet again, right? But Supremacy not making it easy. They're gonna go. Yaz gonna go down to the garage, deciding it's not worth losing that top floor again. Good to make that adaptation. That means they're paying attention, right? Deciding that wasn't working. Let's change up what we're doing based off of that. And you see the Capitao, Blackbeard, and the Thermite. They're definitely well equipped for whatever bomb site, but in this case, the garage, they're especially well equipped with the exception of not having a Thatcher. However, they only have a Mute and no Bandit to try and stop that garage from being breached, which may turn out to be a mistake if they just get that open very easily and start the push sooner than later. But it depends on whether or not they can even execute that push. Getting the garage door open is no free pass. Interestingly enough, too, with this defensive setup above, lets them play above there. Now, we'll see if he reinforces the hatch. Now, if he doesn't reinforce the hatch, it exposes him a little bit, but it offers him the opportunity to rotate down and get back to site to go do some damage there if he needs to with his C4 potentially. Not that that isn't risky to drop with that door open.
There's definitely a couple of ways to play this. Either getting, you know, a bit more ballsy, if you will, and opening up the hatch, or reinforcing it, if anything. Though it really depends on how you want to play it. Of course, if you reinforce it, you force your opponent's Habana to expend a charge, which is definitely not going to be used downstairs to take down a mirror window through the bathroom.
I love the thing about this game is there's so many things that work both ways when you do them. I mean, mirror window is a good example as well. It's just one of those things where if you set something up, you've got to think about how it can get abused. Speaking of setting things up and getting abused, there's that wall going to get opened any second. Now, he wants to get some idea what he's going to find once that wall opens, and that is a great drone play there. He does see the rotation running from it, so he knows exactly where he might get shot from. Surprising that he's doing the middle wall first. Usually, side panels can be more effective.
Oh, might just be an aggressive push, but Bibu. Oh my god, Bibu will fall. Rafaldo will get one back here. Has to spot the Mira, and that is Brid with one on the board. Nobody's on the site, and Spark gets one more with the SR-25. GCR is forced to rotate down, and you know what? The hatch, good thing it wasn't reinforced, because this way the smoke can jump on in. Yuna will try to go around from the side, but Spark is ready for him now with the SR-25, and GCR rotating on the back hallway here into security room. He's got to go through the lockers, and even the barbed wire is ready for him. In front, and Rafal peeks up. GCR goes down, and this is Supremacy now, up 3-0. This has to have a huge morale effect on you.
Absolutely. With how effective they've been, it's just, that was a very surprising round in terms of just massacring them. I would hate to see what would happen to if Bibu survived a round, like longer than 30 seconds. Because him getting killed at the beginning, so far he got knifed the one time on the stairs, runs right into a thermite breach charge. I hope they're going to highlight that one as well. How often do you see someone anxiously running into it? So it's just like with the I mean, you're basically playing 4v5 and still up 3 points. Like, that is such a great position to be in. Have got to be a little worried, to say the least, after all that. So far, even like just people playing to the best of their ability seems to be getting countered time and time again by Supremacy. I just love, I mean, I was talking to the meeting in the round about how opening up that door isn't a free pass. And obviously, Bibu thought it was. But nonetheless, they still just rushed on in. Like I was talking about, like, maybe they should have jammed their bandit. Obviously, they should have, considering they weren't even prepared to rotate back yet.
Exactly, and all right, this is a bit of an odd setup. Because
something you see sometimes for like a mirror to play down there or to fire up and even potentially use C4. It is kind of a good counter sometimes, but it is risky because you're giving it for free.
Okay, this signals a very important thing. If you already let go of piano and open up the entire floorboard, does this mean that this is a turnaround into a similar to phase strategy, which is let your opponents go in and then shut them down? Hey, you want to go? This is a spot. Baby. Yeah. We saw this yesterday with an Ella even.
It's effective because you're using both sides of it. You can shoot up from below. Also, you can shoot from above, stop the defuse plant, or stop anyone from trying to guard the defuse plant. But GCR going to be here doing his work once that door opens. No one going to run at the breach charge this time. GCR looks for a nice angle. Going to start just remodeling the cafeteria as that mirror window gets put up last second. Unfortunate timing there. Oh, and he saw a little bit of yellow to his left. Not sure if he picked up on it as he was busy tapping underneath the mirror.
No damage done. Rafal has gone for the Echo.
Ooh, we know how that goes.
Yep, Echo usually not something you're expecting. And when your opponents are led to believe that all pianos is shot down, they're not really expecting an Echo. He can sit back by the stairs or in server room. Nobody will ever check for him here. The entire point is to have your defenders all the way up top, in this case the mute, having a direct line of sight, and then the Echo to shut down anybody that escapes right at the end. You want to have them as your last card to play in this game of game. What do we call this at this point?
Game
It's
of
a game
throws
of
for-
hearts?
yeah.
Game of throws.
Unfortunately, they are just having a lot of difficulty for this, and you see them stacking up on this garage, trying to do what Supremacy just did, but far longer. They're just taking too much time to do this, and FK1, though, at least getting a kill and a spark is going to help, but this is a little bit late with only 1:17 left and not much progress other than opening the garage door. That mute is going to be a big pain for them of Bibu. He has a C4 as well, so if he's able to get down, he could even just drop it through the floor. But
that's it. Here we go. Bibu gets kill number 1, and that's Yuna out of play. Sure, Spark is down, but the angle on Bibu is so difficult to deal with. You have to drone him out, but with the time that they're allotted here, it's very difficult to do. So have to go with the 1v1 fight, and Bibu getting close to it, sprays down, can't get the kill. It's FK1 to win it out, taking just a bit of damage in the fight. MP5 not enough to win it, but it is not their only crutch card. They still have Rafale on the Echo, but a big part of the Echo is that you need your teammates to support you. Now with the sledge up top, roles have been reversed, and holes go both ways.
That's right, and had the mute lived a little bit longer, it might have done more, but still only 25 seconds left. There's not a lot of time for them to make this work, and there's Rafale doing what Rafale does, making sure the smoke gonna do his job. I love that.
So smart!
Didn't reveal the Echo drone, but FK1's gonna reveal Zephyr's corpse, as they are now down to a 2v4.
10 seconds to go.
Oh, the Havana. There's so little time. He can still go for it. Rafale goes in, relocates now, sets himself up. The Havana has no clue what's going on. 1 second remaining, goes in for the push. No, the holes don't work out for him. Has to go for
There
it.
we
And
go.
defenders win it.
Oh.
What a clutch from the Echo to take it back. Supremacy off the board was a single second on the timer. What a play from the French team. They are 1 round away from 5-0ing Yeah Gaming, and that's the Echo play. That's something that you don't reveal until the last second, Devin.
I love that the reason it didn't work when he tried to get it back up to the ceiling again is from the holes they opened themselves in the floor. The irony there, but I can't believe he made that. We've seen that fail so many times in the past where the Echo's just desperately trying to reposition that drone. He just barely made it, but that was, I got to give a lot of credit to his smoke teammate, because using the smoke and delaying the reveal of that Echo drone, not to mention buying time for the Echo drone to reposition, was perfect. That is exactly what made that work. And Yeah Gaming's got to be so tilted at this point by Rafale's play. Despite that one time they rushed in and killed him, this has definitely been his strength. Now, maybe Supremacy won't close it out here, but a 4-0 lead is far beyond what we saw in the previous 2 maps. Consulate definitely feeling like Supremacy clearly in the driver's seat on this map.
Clearly. Let's see where they run this 8-wheeler into, and it looks like have a huge mountain to climb. This is way beyond going in Everest. This is way beyond Mount Everest.
Unfortunately, so far on this map for it's looking more like nope. They're just struggling to get anything done. Bibu dying every round, and they're still not getting anything done. I mean, Bibu obviously did a little bit better that round, don't get me wrong, but...
All right, he's going to open up here. Usually, there we go. The camera's going to get spotted and taken out as Bibu reloads and falls back in. Pretty standard here. You make your way into piano room just using these windows to your advantage. But of course, very smart from Supremacy, bringing Spark here on the Blackbeard, goes up onto the front yard, or west front yard, if you will, and just aligns his shots right inside in case there is a play like we saw from the Mute previously, or an Ella being set up top.
Yeah, definitely getting a good setup here. They just need to fight the right angles. So far, they've been able to kind of just tear them apart at the moment. But it depends on whether or not they can get those early picks like they had before to start getting set up. I'm not sure if he felt like he needed to do that on the reinforcement.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Bibu is right here. I know he's holding the angle.
You know what? It's still, he was playing.
And there's a drone from Rafale.
So it's fine. They were going to do it whether it was reinforced or not. I don't think they really need a lot more X-Cars. Ooh, there we go.
All right.
So close.
Droned out
here we
here,
go.
FK1.
Bibu's going to have to fight him now.
He's ready for him, goes in for the spray, but FK1 controls it, lands the headshot. He's spotted as well and gets a few bullets whizzing right next to his ears from the outside window. That's Rafale with the diffuser in hand. And FK1 just still on the yellow staircase. Of course, staircase being such an important part of defending downstairs in the garage.
It's probably the single most important area of this map that just gets used time and time again for so many things. And Brit is afraid to attack it right now because FK1 is just in such a good position in a one-on-one. Now, if they can get a 2-on-2, however, good luck doing so as GCR is getting to hang around as well on the roam, and that's what's making this difficult. As soon as the first kill goes out onto one of these roamers, we can see the push start to happen on them. But in the meantime, Rafael gonna get this open with Bibu somewhere else, and that being 6 feet under. He is not going to be... Sorry, I'm gonna stop giving him... feel a little bad now at this point. Sorry, Bibu. I think you're a great player. Don't get me wrong.
Whenever Bibu is down, it definitely turns into an advantage for Supremacy somehow. But Elatrap is going to get taken out from above, but they will not take down the Ela just yet. The Jaeger still holding on here. Brid is very close up, and he's ready for the push. He feels it here. And with the shots being fired, just know a drone is going to get thrown in. They might be able to spot him out.
Oh, the noise.
Goes in, here we go. Brit snaps onto FK1's head. That's the second one, Brit. Here we go. Mirror wall is the only thing they have, but the bomb has already been planted. Or diffuser, if you will. Revolts is in. Rafal is going to get tagged, but he's not down just yet. They can pick him up if needed and just get a bit extra support, but Brit's position here can just shut down any rotation. He's so close. Up goes in for the yellow. Brit saves it again. 3K for Supremacy. They're so close to victory, so close to the end. Spawns goes in, gets one. Can't down the rest. Rafal too far away. Zephyr has a perfect eye here. Much better than the position we saw from CLG yesterday. Claymore still right in front. Zephyr will drop now. Quick rush from the Thermite. Rafal gets one, spots the second. Revolts now alive, gets one, almost gets the second. Downs him here, has to take him out. There's no time remaining. Yeah, we'll go down, and GG, well played. Supremacy make it to the quarterfinals in France. Will be represented.
Amazing play by Supremacy, not just in the last round, but a 5-0 after a 6-5 and a 6-4, situations where you know they were going up against tough competition, and to have the stamina to 5-0 your opponent on the final map, that's no easy task. Yeah, maybe the first map, but the last map, that is hard. Some just
7-2 from Brid.
All I know is you're going to ban this map against Supremacy going
forward. My God. And to think that we always say, don't play Penta here, don't play Ensign.